My name is Gerald Hong. I am the CEO and master trainer for Gemini Consulting, and I'm also the course curator for all our generative AI series of courses. And of course, I'm also a certified prompt engineering trainer as well, right? So those of you who have maybe attended my classes before, mostly in Microsoft, I've been a Microsoft certified trainer since the 1990s. All right, so I've been following Microsoft technology almost my entire life, right? So, but well, recently, since the past 10 months, I've been into generative AI. Right, so I would like to welcome every single one of you guys who have logged in since this morning, and I can see there are an overwhelming attendance from you all. I think it started since 8 plus a.m. There are quite a number of you already logged in, and very patiently waiting for this session to start. Okay. So anyway, this is only a 3-hour session that is going to start right now, and we're going to end by 12 p.m. So you might be wondering, hey, 3 hours, what can you talk about generative AI in 3 hours? So, well, like I said, this is a sneak peek session, all right? It's a sneak peek session whereby I'm just going to run you through very quickly the abundance of generative AI tools and also talk a little bit about prompt engineering. Now, I know that out there on the market, you can even watch YouTube. You can actually look it up in Facebook. It seems like every single one of them are all talking about generative AI, all talking about ChatGPT, to be specific, right? The world's first generative AI platform that was launched back in last year, November 2022. I started with it, right? It's only in January this year. So, and then I dig in very, very deep into understanding the large language models, what is it all about, and then getting myself certified and things like that. Okay, but you see out there on the market, right, people were talking about, oh, how to do business, how to help your business with ChatGPT, how to elevate, okay, your ideas with ChatGPT. Yeah, things like this. But essentially, not many people are talking about prompt engineering. All right, so a lot of people would agree, okay, that actually to leverage and fully utilize your ChatGPT, it's all about this word called PE, prompt engineering. It's not your physical education and not PE as in PE class back in school. Today, the word PE, the acronym is all about prompt engineering. So I've been doing a very, very deep dive into prompt engineering, understanding all the methodologies, all the frameworks that's around, and now what does it matter? Is it because it's to learn how to write the correct prompts, right? This is what it matters. I always go into a technology, but I don't want to just talk about the fancy, the beautiful stuff about it, but what is the fundamental, the foundation of using the tool the best? Like, for example, I've been a Power BI trainer for some time, okay? And every trainer out there will be talking about, oh, this is so beautiful, the report, see, they will wow you with all the cosmetics and all that. But I don't do such thing. I will talk about the data, the building blocks. I'll deliver the sad news, okay, about what is critical before you can get those beautiful things out. What's the immediate? What's the most important foundation? You need to build that up before you can see the beautiful things in it, right? So same thing goes with ChatGPT. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Well, it's just my browser anyway, so I'm just going to bring myself to chat.openai.com. So now we have hundreds of people here. Well, yeah, it's an overwhelming crowd here. And you realize again that if you have any questions, just please type it into the chat, right? Because to prevent any interruptions, so all of you guys are muted by default. So if you have any questions, so just please type them into the chat. My production team, my event team is actually around to assist you, right? So now this is a sneak peek. So there might be people inside this session who are very, very well versed with ChatGPT. You've been using ChatGPT for some time already. You've been discovering lots of cool stuffs in ChatGPT. You have been also a very experienced prompting person. You're able to create things already. You have actually used ChatGPT to be productive already. But there are also people who have heard of ChatGPT, but it's still an uncharted region. You are not You don't dare to make the move. You have heard of it. People have been talking about ChatGPT. Your neighbors are talking about it. Your friends are talking about it. Even maybe your dad is talking about it, right? But you might not understand, right? You might not have actually been exploring ChatGPT yet. So some people who don't dare to make the move, some people who are already being productive using ChatGPT. Anyway, those of you who do not know how to sign in or sign up, the URL is chat.openai.com. Remember, ChatGPT is by a company called OpenAI, and this company, right, is invested heavily by Microsoft. So Microsoft is also having a big hand inside OpenAI, and that is why I will also introduce you to Bing Chat. So for those of you who wanted to compare tools between whether should I pay for ChatGPT or can I just use it for free immediately, right? So there are loopholes around, and I'm just going to present to you all the different generative tools, all the platforms that we have right now. So I'm going to begin with ChatGPT. Of course, that's the biggest one, the most popular ones, right? So I'm just going to click login. Now, for those of you who want to know, can I sign up? Is it that anyone can sign up? Well, of course, as long as your account hasn't been blacklisted, all right, so you can sign up. So you see, when I click sign up here, right, um, what does it recognize? So you can continue with Google account, okay, you can use Microsoft account, or those of you with Apple account, Apple ID, you can continue with the Apple ID. All right. So, but of course, I started with my Microsoft account. Okay. So I can sign up with a Microsoft account as in your Outlook.com, Hotmail.com. If it's a Google account, well, that should be your Gmail.com account. All right. Apple ID, it can be anyone who's using an iPhone, who have an Apple ID. You can do that as well. Now, having said so, because ChatGPT officially came out with their um, iOS app. They started with iOS first, and then Android, right? They also released an app that you can download from your Google Play Store a couple of months back, right? But for Apple users, the ChatGPT app is already available in your iPhones pretty early, right? And they have been making a lot of updates ever since. So one thing I will share to you later on what you have on the Chat GPT for iOS or the mobile platform compared to the desktop. What do you have that in the desktop you don't have? So, but in my case right now, I don't need to sign up. I'll just log in. So I'll log in with my Microsoft account. So I'm signing in with my Windows Hello because it's integrated to my laptop. So you can see that this is actually my interface. Now the ChatGPT interface is nothing much here, and you can see my all my histories of the chats that I have performed so far. And of course, well, you should realize that I'm actually on ChatGPT Plus, all right, which means I pay for it, right? I'm paying $20 a month, right? So some people say that, wow, that's a hefty sum. But well, let me try to tell you a note here. So it depends, whether can are you willing to spend $20 a month, considering now in Malaysia or ringgit to the US, the greenback is not really that healthy, right? So, but if you take $20, right, it's still well less than 100 ringgit a month. But are you willing to spend 100 ringgit a month? Well, depends on your usage. Some people will maybe you just pay for it and then after a while you forget about ChatGPT. You don't use it in a brief moment. Now you might think that the $20 a month is not worthwhile, but people like me, I'm using it every single day, right? I'm doing a lot of research and I'm actually practically I'm a trainer anyway, so I need to pay for it, right? So that's what you get in ChatGPT Plus, where you can see there are two models up here. You got ChatGPT, which is based on GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. Now, for me, who is a Plus subscriber, what are the benefits I get in GPT-4? There you go, which I can access it. I have browse with Bing. I've got the advanced data analysis, or we call it ADA, and I can access hundreds and hundreds of plugins available. And of course, the most exciting part recently is my DALI 3. All right, I'm going to explain a little bit of all this later on. Okay, so for those of you who are free, you get started with free, you only can access 3.5. If you look at 3.5, right, it's our fastest model, great for most everyday tasks. But like I said, that ChatGPT 3.5, Whatever you do, whatever conversation you're involved in, well, it's pretty fast, but then yet, depending on the consumption, if let's say ChatGPT, right, you met a time where it is pretty busy out there, you might have a slower response, right? But well, I don't believe that anyway. A lot of times when OpenAI says that if you subscribe and pay for ChatGPT Plus, you'll get priority, that you get extra processing power. We will serve you, we'll entertain you faster. But I can tell you that's not the case. Because even if I go to ChatGPT 4, check this out. I will zoom in here. They mention here specifically GPT-4 currently has a cap of 50 messages every 3 hours. You still have a minimum cap of it, right? That means if you use the GPT-4 model, right, when you are having a conversation with the GPT-4, you only can go up to 50 messages. Okay, once you hit 50 messages, you can't use it anymore, and you got to rest for 3 hours before you can continue using it. So you can see that some of you might think, huh, what kind of bullshit is this? I'm paying $20 a month, and yet I'm going to have this throttling. But no choice, because I'm not so sure whether you treat ChatGPT as a friend when you're lonely and you think that you can actually talk to this fella with more than 50 messages. Well, frankly speaking, I don't create one session and go all the way up to 50 messages. Well, sometimes I hit just a few, maybe up to 10 messages, and I think it can get my work done already. It's enough. So I can, save the session and I create another new chat session. I can keep on creating new chats, new chats, new chats, and different sessions here. All right. And well, for GPT 3.5, even though they don't have the cap, okay, but the knowledge model that you're using, right, it's already updated recently to January 2022. Okay, a lot of people who have some experience and knowledge about ChatGPT, they think, hey, I thought they say that they are trained up to September 2021, right? Well, yes, originally, yes. As of last week, I did conduct one of my ChatGPT classes. As of last week, I think Friday, the knowledge model, right, is still trained up to September 2021. That means when you chat with ChatGPT, right, don't ask ChatGPT who's the champion for the BWF Badminton Masters for year 2022, men's singles champion. That guy doesn't have any knowledge because what? Their knowledge model is only up to September 2021. Anything after September 2021, this fella doesn't know about it. But recently they have updated the language model, and now it's already up to January 2022. That means they updated it up to 4 months more. So how do I know this? Well, let me show to you. In the message, I just say, when is your knowledge cut off? I can just ask like this because uh, OpenAI doesn't really tell you all that, right? But anyway, you can ask, when is your knowledge cut off? So you can see GPT 3.5 says, hello, yeah, he knows my name anyway, right? My knowledge cutoff date is January 2022. This means that my information is up to date only until that time. And I may not have any knowledge about events or developments after that. See that? So previously was, as of last Friday, it was still September 2021. But as of, I think, yesterday, I found out that they have been updated to January 2022, right? So anything post January 2022, no. Now you might be thinking, what about GPT-4? If I pay for GPT Plus, right, and I get GPT-4 access, is it the same? Well, yes. If I click new chat right now and use GPT-4 default model, right, it's still the same. Unless you want to have recent updates, you can use this browse with Bing. This browse with Bing allows ChatGPT now able to access the internet. They can search for things which is up to the date, the most recent happening. So, like for example, you want to find out certain things about a news site, or certain knowledge, right? That it needs to access the internet. Then you have to choose browse with Bing, right? But of course, if you want to use actually ChatGPT for advanced stuffs, analysis and all that. Now, actually, I paid for ChatGPT Plus because of this. This is the most powerful thing that I've ever used. Previously, it was called Code Interpreter. Now they have changed the name to Advanced Data Analysis. So when I select this, this allows you to click this part, okay, this plus sign here to attach a file. You see, if I choose this one, it allows you to attach images. This is also a recent development. You see, this session allows me to make myself so excited because there are so many things that they have updated to ChatGPT recently, right? And all this is only available for Plus user. If you are 3.5, I'm so sorry. You see, you don't have any buttons and all that. You can only type your message and send. But for GPT-4, which is accessible to Plus users, if I click on the default today, I can upload an image. And what does it do? I can ask things about the image. I can ask ChatGPT Plus, right, to describe the image for me, right? You can upload anything. Even you can, it's available on your iOS version. You can snap a picture using your phone and immediately upload to ChatGPT Plus and ask ChatGPT to explain to you and find out what is this all about, right? So what they have actually advertised is like, for example, I attach an image of a bicycle, the seat, right? And then they say that, can you tell me how do I adjust the seat just by uploading a picture of a bicycle seat? And they'll tell you, well, you need to loosen the nut and this and that, right? And then they said, well, how do you loosen the nut? What kind of wrench do I need to use? And then when ChatGPT Plus able to analyze the size of the nut, they will present you with the different size of the wrenches. They will recommend you to use wrenches and all that, right? So that's actually available for GPT-4 model, the default model, right? For advanced data analysis, right? Well, maybe I'll try to demonstrate this thing, right? Whereby I can click plus to attach a file. Now, let's say I'm going to attach a file of my, well, I always use this whereby I will upload this Excel file, all right? This Excel file is what I use in my Power BI training. I have a data source in there. I've got a couple of tables in there, and I asked ChatGPT Plus to analyze this Excel file for me. I've got some data in there, right? So let me see whether I can try this one out. Now, you see, it's uploaded already to my Ada. Now I can ask a message about this file. I'll just say, please analyze this file, okay? And don't do anything yet. Don't do anything. Hang on. Something wrong with typing today. Anything yet. Respond to me with a yes when you understand fully about the file. See? You can see how I talk to ChatGPT like a human, right? I just press enter. So see that they are activating the work using advanced data analysis. But actually, if you say show what is he doing right in the background, they are all Python. Those of you who are technical people can understand they're using Python language to do that. So you can see, well, contains the following sheets. Dim customer, dim product, all these things. Can you see that I've got a blank sheet too, right? That this guy also can able to find out. Each sheet presumably holds different sets of data related to adventure work sales operation. Would you like to proceed? I asked this guy to answer me yes, but he never answered me yes, you fully understand. Okay, and keep on, well, it proceeds to, would you like to have a specific analysis of these sheets? So I'll just say, okay, so since now you seem to understand this, okay, create the necessary um, table relationships between the sheets, okay, and tell me when you're done. I will give further instructions later, okay? And they're working again, right? So you can see these are the things again that you can explore. So I'm not actually a spokesperson for OpenAI. I'm not trying to earn some money here so that when everyone of you sign up with ChatGPT Plus for $20, I earn something. No, I'm not even an ambassador for OpenAI. But here I'm just trying to show you I pay for ChatGPT Plus for what reasons? For all these things that can help you even analyze your work, and it can help you generate insights. I've been a Power BI trainer since the early infancy days of Power BI. But with ChatGPT, right, if I do not know what kind of data story to generate, right, I can get ChatGPT Plus to help me come out with a data storytelling, right? So you can see the columns available. They are showing me all the columns in there, and they are trying to create the relationship as per instructed. As you can see, I can establish following relationships and blah, blah, blah. I'll go ahead and create these relationships. You can see that before they do the relationship, they are telling me what they found out, and now they're going to go ahead and do it. So they're working on it again. So the necessary table have been successfully established. The merge data frame, blah, blah, blah. Okay, come on. All right, you can now proceed with further instructions. Look at that. Okay, and now I can just say that now All I wanted is for you to generate uh, top 3 key insights about my data. Create a data story about all these insights. That's it. So you must know what you need to ask, you see, and I will need to tell you a little bit about the basic prompting, okay? Because there are certain keywords that you must use. Even though I'm telling you that ChatGPT is not just like a human because it's AI, and you continue the conversation as you would, right? And well, you can see before I can even finish myself, you can see that they came up with all these charts already. You see that? Distribution of yearly income, distribution of freight, tax amount. See, they will tell you data story, top 3 key insights from this sales data. Number one, the narrative. They'll tell you the distribution of sales amount is highly skewed with a mean of approximately $486. However, there's a broad range of sales amounts from the lowest $2.29 all the way to 3,000 plus. What's the implication? Insight number two, high variability in customer yearly income. They generate their narrative, they'll tell you what's the implication. And insight three, they found out that tax and freight costs are generally low but can spike, right? And this and that, right? So you can see that these are all the rough insights again that it can give me. So this is one of the powerful things there. So thank you so much for what our very first question there. Can ChatGPT generate its analysis in Office, for example, Excel, PowerPoint, for us to download? Now, there is no direct linkage to ChatGPT into Microsoft Office yet. But since you're talking about Office, right? Well, I'm sure you know and heard of the Microsoft Copilot, which is rolling out soon. You don't get Copilot yet in Excel. You don't get Copilot yet in PowerPoint. Some users, some subscriptions in your Office 365, you would have seen Copilot already. Now, Copilot has already rolled out on your Windows. So for example, when I click this button, you can see my Copilot, which is pre-release, which is actually Bing Chat, powered by Bing Chat. So it's like having Bing Chat directly built into your Windows. This is Windows Copilot, all right? But Copilot, it's already available for Power Platform like Power Apps, Power Automate, right? But it's not yet making a scene, not showing up yet in your Excel, PowerPoint, or Word, because you will get Copilot built into every single Office app soon, right? So stay tuned. You don't get ChatGPT now doing this and then import it into your Excel and further do it in Excel. How you wish you get that all these charts, right? Wow, can I do this and make this available in Excel? Well, it's just an image, lah, right? You can just right click it and just save this image. It's just a static image, but you can't do interactive, like in Power BI. Right, in my Power BI class, right, people have been asking me, hey, the Chat GPT chart I have here, right, can I bring it into Power BI and make it interactive? The answer is no. This is just a static image, and it's all done here directly on the browser. So, but if you want to talk about Office, Excel, and PowerPoint, whatever, they will have their Copilot very soon, right? And Microsoft Copilot, they came out is because of OpenAI. They invested in OpenAI, they took the GPT model, and they make it available here. So let me show you also. If I go and open up, I go to bing.com. People do not know Bing before this. You want to do a search, right? Google lah. What is Bing? People don't know what the hell is Bing. But because of OpenAI investments and Microsoft literally have access to the GPT model, they create Bing Chat, right? Solely from the GPT model. So here you go. You can see there's a chat. When you click chat, you'll be brought to Bing Chat. This is Bing. As you can see, the AI Power Copilot for the web. And this is the only way you can access GPT-4 model for free. So if you don't want to pay ChatGPT Plus, right? I'm talking about, let's see, let me click on new chat here. You don't want to pay for ChatGPT Plus, and so that you can access GPT-4. The only way you can do GPT-4 with automatically browse with Bing, can have internet access also, is Bing Chat. Look at the title. It says here, Bing Chat with GPT-4, right? So this is actually the way that you can access GPT-4. And also, one more thing, GPT-4 has DALI 3. You can generate images directly here. You don't need to talk about Midjourney already. I'm supposed to talk about Midjourney here. Okay, Leonardo AI, the text-to-image type of generative AI. But even though my ChatGPT came up with DALI 3 here, look at this. I can show you. I just go through this one. I'm using DALI 3 directly in ChatGPT. here, I just say a yellow Lamborghini Aventador all-terrain vehicle. Then it says certainly I generate 4 photos, 2 photos, 1 illustration, 1 render. So you can see they can generate directly here in my ChatGPT 4, right? And you know Lamborghini Aventador is a sports car, but I just purposely put it, it's an ATV, all-terrain vehicle, but using Lamborghini Aventador. So you can see that all here. All for 2 photos, 1 illustration, 1 picture like that. So you don't need Midjourney anymore. Those of you who know, Midjourney is like ChatGPT, the pioneer of text prompt to generate images, the champion, the pioneer, the most illustrative, illustrative, right? And the highest quality. As of today, right, Midjourney is still the best because recently they have improved their upscaling up to even 4K when you zoom in, right? You can upscale a picture, zoom in, and maintain 4K, which other like DALI 3 not there yet. You see, so that is why DALI 3, you still have to pay for ChatGPT Plus. But then if you use Bing Chat, I can also do this because in Bing Chat, I can go back to Microsoft Bing. I have access to images here, and I do have the image creator. There you go. There's a create here. This is Bing Image Creator. Look at this. It says here, powered by DALI 3 as well. And for free, again, they'll give you 100 boosts. Now I'm down to 71 boosts only. When you run out of boosts, right, every 1 week they will actually churn out, they will replenish 25 boosts for you. But if you run out of boosts, zero here, right, doesn't mean that you cannot use anymore. You can still type in a prompt and generate images, just that it's slower. The boost will help you generate quickly. But if you run out of boosts, that is where you make use of your Bing reward points. I keep on collecting my reward points until 4,800 plus points already. See, so you gain all these points by doing all these activities. It's a gamification thing, right? So you log in, you search with Bing, you gain how many points. These points in the future you can redeem. Use 500 points to exchange maybe 10 boosts, right? So if you redeem 1,000 points, you get 20 boosts. But that is not yet available, not now. They have to actually plan it. Right now, they are for free, they're replenishing 25 boosts per week, right? So now you go to creations, you can see all the creations I've generated so far, right? So you can see all these things I've been doing, right? So for example, I've been doing this one, see? A 4K resolution photo of Adidas sneakers in a futuristic metallic concept. Look at that. They just try to simulate Adidas because I've been playing around with copyright. Because all these images, right, you cannot put in people's name. For example, you type in there Elon Musk smoking a cigar, okay, with a beer in another hand. They will block you. Not to say block you, they'll block your prompt. They say that you cannot use famous people, no celebrity names in there and all that. Okay. So even brands and all that. So even for this one, I say I tried this. A Caucasian woman in a silky metallic gown which looks like Marilyn Monroe. I say which looks like, I'm not saying Marilyn Monroe, but you can see it able to generate, okay, a woman that, yeah, pretty much like Marilyn Monroe style, right? And you can see I can blow it up for this one with a mole somehow which looks really like Marilyn Monroe. But this is actually how I tweak my prompt because I've been doing prompt engineering for quite a number of months already, right? More than half a year. So I've been trying to tweak all these things. How do I get that? And I can see I did another one. Marilyn Monroe sipping from a bottle of Coca-Cola in the middle of Manhattan. This was done a few days later when I can see that they open up slightly their policy. Coca-Cola is a brand that was copyrighted. Marilyn Monroe is a person that was supposedly thought not to be generated. But now I can get this. You see, it looks like Marilyn Monroe sipping on Coca-Cola. So we can see the brand is there, right? I can do that with Coca-Cola, but then the brand, you can see the logo is slightly skewed. It's not really Coca-Cola. It looks like Coca-Cola. And Marilyn Monroe just only have a mole, but this got 3 moles, you see? So they're not able to, you know, still perpetuate, okay, the actual brand or the actual person, right? So let me just say, if we upload user requirements of Microsoft Word containing images and flow explanation, may I have complete answer. Will it be able to help developers to map a table design, such as create SharePoint list with multiple tables? Okay, now that's a very good question from Alex Lim here. Well, let me try to understand that. If you have user requirements all typed up in Microsoft Word, even got containing images and diagrams and all that, right? So I presume that you're a developer. So you want to upload this Word document to the ChatGPT Plus using this model of advanced data analysis. You click this button to attach that Word document containing flow charts and whatever. So would you be able to use ChatGPT 4 here? Ask them questions, okay, to do design mapping to a table design or create SharePoint list, whatever. I can tell you the answer straight away. It's a definite yes. It is doable. Doesn't matter whether your Word document contains writing. Of course, it's able to analyze the writing. If you have an image in there, yes. Previously, when it first came out with, when they were known as code interpreter, no. Right? When they were known as code interpreter, that time they cannot analyze images inside the document. Today, because of DALI 3, and also by default, you can upload images and they will tell you they've got they've got this new model called GPT-4V. All right. Remember this. So they came out with GPT-4, which is version 4. Today, they've got GPT or V. V stands for vision. Is because of the computer vision adopted trained into GPT-4. That is why they came up with this. In the default model, I can upload an image, ask them to explain something. All right. So now I don't have much of a photos here that I can use it to show you, but because of this, now they changed the name to advanced data analysis. No more calling it code interpreter, because the name code interpreter is only biased to like people who are developers or programmers. So now they call it advanced data analysis. So you can upload a file with an image and they can analyze that, right? So okay, do not use a ChatGPT without having the data control switch on. Yes, exactly. So you're talking about the it says here all NZ stuff should have the data. You're referring to Australia, New Zealand, or something like that. Well, yeah, depending on which region you come from. Well, we may have international participants. Yes, I remember that when we received signups, we've got people from all over the world. Actually, we've got people from Argentina, from Cambodia, for possibly, yes, Australia and New Zealand. Well, you see, ChatGPT, one of the major roadblocks or hindrance, right, is that some companies are having this particular blocking of ChatGPT. They discourage and they do not allow their staff to use ChatGPT because whatever that we type here, whatever files that we upload, right, the privacy, the data privacy issue, right, is that OpenAI will get hold of the files that we have uploaded and use our data and train. So that is why in the settings here, right, I go to my settings. So you can see that data controls, right, you have to turn it off. But you see the thing is that when you turn it off, right, you are disallowing OpenAI to practically, not use, you don't allow OpenAI to use my data to train their model. But then you will lose all your chat history, right? You see, I don't dare to turn this off, If I turn this off right now, all my chat history at the site are all gone, all right? So this is actually one of the things, okay, that you need to do, right? But what if I want to maintain my history, but yet I do not want OpenAI to get hold of my data? Can I do that? The answer is yes. Let me show you this. Here in data controls, right, there's a learn more here, right? Don't flick the switch off, you click learn more. When you'll be brought to the OpenAI's page in the help data controls FAQ, in the FAQ, you slowly scroll down, hang on, you can fill up a form. They give you a link, right, to fill up a form to opt out of the training, but yet you can maintain your history. Now, I always have a problem looking at this. There you go. What if I want to keep my history on but disable the training? I do not want you to take my data, but yet I want to keep my history. This is the form here. There's a link here. So when you click this form, you'll be brought to this user content opt-out request. Okay, but yet they say as of October 25th, yeah, just recently, just 2 days ago, we've migrated this form to our privacy request portal. So they ask you to go to visit privacy.openai.com. So you can submit your requests for them to opt you out of using your data, right? So yes, definitely. Okay, if you are in a company whereby you've got this policy of being worried about using ChatGPT because of data control policy and privacy and all that, well, you're welcome to use even Bing. But then what are the things that you can try out? So now ChatGPT recently also launched their enterprise, ChatGPT Enterprise. which you can subscribe. You get your company to subscribe. It's like a private one, private ChatGPT. But I also did have customers, right, who told me they have subscribed to the Microsoft's Bing Chat Enterprise. In Bing, right, okay, they also have Bing Chat Enterprise, which is a private and closed GPT-4 access. Okay, but yet all the data is only available among the organization. None of the data is going to be leaked out to the public. It's not the public Bing Chat, but it's called Bing Chat Enterprise. So you have two options right now. You directly go into OpenAI and inquire about ChatGPT Enterprise. Right? I think they call it ChatGPT 4 Enterprise, or you can subscribe to Bing Chat Enterprise through Microsoft. All right. Okay. Do you have any good prompt engineering architecture for us like TOT? Yeah, the what chain of thought, and all that, right? Or God or agent prompting. Now, I do have numerous prompt engineering frameworks, okay, but yet I'm just going to share to you just a couple of frameworks only. Now, the only framework that I can talk about here, right, is actually the fundamental, the basic ones, okay. So let me just kind of like, hang on, you give me a second here. Okay, now I'll just present to you just a couple of frameworks. I have to write it out here. So the first framework is called RTF. All right. The RTF framework is called role task format. Now, if you are trying to be very, very specific into the delving, okay, of the chain of thought, or the tree of thought, the TOT is called tree of thought. You've got COT, which is called chain of thought. Right now, these are all very deep dive frameworks. I'm not going to talk about it here. This session is a sneak peek, only talking about the tools, right? So the RTF is called role, comma, task, comma, and format. So some people would like to call this a CEDO, the CEDO format, okay, which is context, okay, instruction, okay, details, and output. Right? I always talk about CEDO, which is actually easier for me to deliver to any business users, right? So that means when you write a prompt, right, you must have all this to get the best output. Now, let me kind of like demonstrate what is this. Now, let's say, for example, now I always quote this. Let me use GPT 3.5 will do, right? So let's say, for example, you want to, I always use this, the simplest one, right? Some people will say that if I want to know the recipe, okay, for cooking a perfect filet mignon, let's say. So I'll just put it here as in, please show me the recipe for a filet mignon. This is what people will type. They certainly, yeah, they show the ingredients and instructions, you see, everything. Is this what you want? Yeah, it's not to say that you don't get it. Yeah, you get it, you see, you get everything. Some people say, wow, yeah, I cut my hands, it's good. But if, for me, right, if you're into prompt engineering, I would like to show you what the CEDO means. I need to put into context first, okay? You are, okay, a 5 Michelin star celebrity chef. That's how you spell celebrity chef. I can put that you are Gordon Ramsay. But you know what? ChatGPT later will reply me, I am no Gordon Ramsay, but I can tell you this. So sometimes ChatGPT can become very cocky, So you can say, you put into context, you must set ChatGPT to the correct role. Say that, imagine you are a 5 Michelin star celebrity chef. All right? You can put it with the word imagine in front. That means you set the scope straight. Imagine you're a 5 Michelin star, okay, celebrity chef. Next, instruction. What do you want? Okay, I want you to create a step by step. Okay, what do you create? Okay, I want you to show me. All right, show me the complete recipe. Okay, and a step by step instructions for cooking a perfect filet mignon. Now, this one, I've got instructions, okay, and I can give you more details. Details can follow up later. What else do you want to include in there? Because in my instructions, I might have the might have included the details already. is because I say that I want you to complete recipe as well as the step-by-step instructions for cooking a perfect filet mignon. Okay, you might have more details given. Okay, the filet mignon, let's say, okay, your preference, your detail, the filet mignon, okay, should be medium well or medium rare. Okay, with a pink center. See, these are details. What else do you want? You can put it in there. But lastly, output. I just say that output it into a table format. This is a simple, pseudo format. Okay. So in this case, uh, thank you so much for actually, wow, there's somebody here who are sharing all that GPT 3.5 Turbo, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Well, I think you must be actually one of those prompt engineers and all that. Thank you so much and all that, right? You have been sharing the complete database, for or whatever recipe you have there, right? So thank you so much. Okay, but anyway, I'm just going to show you the simple pseudo format here, right? So check this out. Would you like to look at the earlier one or you want it to be this one? You can see that this is how I just say, please show me the recipe, right? But now I say, as a five Michelin star, you see, I say that I set the scope, the context that you're a five Michelin star celebrity chef. I want the complete recipe and step-by-step instructions. I put it into table format. So you can see ingredients, how much is the quantity, the instructions here for time duration and all that. So you can see that if you are able to come up with a better prompt, okay, so you are able to manipulate and output, okay, the results in a much more fashionable way, right? So this is something that you can explore. Now, out of so many different types of what we call as prompt engineering framework, RTF framework, we've got the trace framework, we've got the tag, packed, RASF. All these are what we call it as different frameworks. Okay, they are all acronyms only. So, like for example, we've got again the trace framework, we've got the tag framework, we've got the RASF framework, the packed framework. So all these are just short forms. So TRAC, trace, task, request, action, context, example. Okay, task, request, action, context, example. Some of this is just an elaboration of the more usual pseudo. Pseudo is easy to understand, to remember. Okay, maybe some of you guys, okay, can want to use tag, 3-letter, even easier, TAG, task, action, and goal. Or this one, even more detailed, RASF, RASCF, role, the action, S is steps, then context, then E for you provide examples if you want, and then the format. Okay, so PAC is actually, I think, purpose, action, context, and T is for tailoring, something like that. Okay, so anyway, there are just many different frameworks. And most of the time, okay, if you were to attend my basic prompting class, which is a 1-day class and all that, then we'll talk more about the prompts. Okay, but anyway, this is actually a sneak peek to show you the possibilities of in ChatGPT and also other platforms, right? Now, what I am going to also show you now, apart from ChatGPT, right? What other options do we have? So, like for example, I've shown you Bing Chat with GPT-4. So you can generate equally the same thing. Now, what if, right, I were to transfer this prompt into Bing Chat? I just copy this and put it into Bing Chat. What do you think? Let me paste it here. You see, I'm going to do the same thing. Imagine you are a five Michelin star celebrity chef. I want to show you. I want you to show me all that, right? So I'm just going to click on submit here. So let's see what you're going to have there. So as you can see, the output is quite similar to what I have. And one thing for sure, right? Since it's a table, can you see this Excel? You can see that there's an edit in Excel which ChatGPT doesn't have. So that is why, because Bing is by Microsoft and they're using GPT-4, some of the outputs here, right, you can immediately transfer and analyze it into that. And you can see they're even able to show you an image. So quite a number of people, whenever I show them this, they say, hey, seems like Bing Chat is better than ChatGPT itself because they are a bit more multimedia, right? And I say even output it into a table or whatsoever, and then you can see that instructions are not into a table and they just say voila, and you can learn more about it. There are more of this particular, because they are actually on the internet, so they're able to generate images out here, okay? So this is actually how you can even explore more. So because it's a table, you can even analyze it into Excel. So you can see there's an Excel button here, edit in Excel, right? So this is something that it's quite refreshing if you were to explore Bing Chat, which has the power of GPT-4. Okay. So, but anyway, I still find myself still using a lot of ChatGPT because one thing for sure, whatever I can type here, well, there's one advantage which I can type all the way up to maximum of 4,000 characters. If you were to realize this right in ChatGPT, Bing Chat, you can only have up to 2,000. That is actually one thing that you can't fight with ChatGPT, even though there are quite a bit more advantages that you can explore in Bing Chat, which is equivalent using the same engine, GPT-4, but you can only type up to 2,000 max characters. Okay, but in Chat GPT here, you can type up to 4,000, even if they don't show you, right? The images are taken from the internet or generated through the prompt. Now, the images are taken from the internet. They don't generate this. These are all taken from the internet. Okay, but you can see there's an explore with this. Can you see that there's an icon here that shows something like a pencil with some stars, right? So when you click this explore, I think you have to click on it. So you can see that it just show you where they got it from. See, it's Wikipedia, right? It's just Wikipedia. So, but this explore here, right, I remember that it can be clicked to, but apparently it cannot click. This is supposedly to bring you into image creator or the inspiration for you to browse a library of more images of filet mignon and something like that. Okay. I got a sick. Apologize again for those of you who are happen to be a vegetarian. Maybe the sight of beef here or filet mignon, okay, you are kind of feeling offended. But well, it's just an example anyway, right? So please take note, okay, that you have a maximum cap of 2,000 tokens here, maximum limit. But in ChatGPT, you have 4,000, double. All right. Okay, so okay, so that's actually your Chat GPT, Bing Chat. Okay, that's something that you can do, right? If you can explore. Now, another one, okay, would be Google Bard. Of course, some of you guys have actually heard of this, right? So if I were to open up a new one, I just go to bard.google.com. You can see this one is free, right? Totally free. You sign in with your Google account, your Gmail account, and you can see Bard is actually put here as an experiment, right? And of course, it says here, hi, I'm Bard. And the most important thing that you have to understand if you're to use Google Bard, right, comparison with ChatGPT. Now, both ChatGPT and Google Bard has a big difference, okay? Now, the biggest difference, of course, they were trained in a different language model because Bard is using Google's own Palm 2 language model, right? Their LLM is different. And ChatGPT, of course, is GPT. Well, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That's what GPT stands for. Okay. And today out there on the market, you've got so many different types of large language models. You've got Llama 2, you've got Palm 2, you've got the Falcon, you've got and the list goes on, right? Even Meta itself, okay, Meta AI, Meta, which is the owner of Facebook and WhatsApp, so they are also into generative AI and they have their own open source language model, which you can go to meta.ai to actually, sorry, it's ai.meta.com, and you can practically download their entire large language model for developers so that you can build your own generative AI platform out of their open source language model. All right. So this is actually a little bit of the technical talk, that I'm referring to the back end. But Bard is also having the same thing. As you can see, you can even upload an image because this is Google. They have their own Google. What do you call that? Their own Google search. And the most important thing right now, recently, I think they've just recently updated Google Bard here, with whereby you can integrate your Google Workspace with Google Bard. For example, you can install extensions. You can see there's extensions here. By default, you can see you can integrate to Google Flights, Google Hotels, Google Maps, your Google Workspace, which means your Google Sheets, your Google Docs can be integrated, and then your YouTube as well. So they're giving you something like, for example, Google Workspace. You can say, sum up a document, break it down for me. So if you use Google Docs, that means you have created a number of documents and save it in your Google Docs under your Google Workspace. So now using this chat in Bard, right? You can ask Bard to go into and access your Google Docs, right? And just find some words. I don't know which document. I've got tons of documents in my Google Docs. And I remember I typed something in one of my documents there, and you want Bart to help you summarize it. You can do that. Right? Or in your Google Sheets, right? Well, Google Sheets are just like Excel. You've got some data in your Google Sheets. You can even ask Bart, right, okay, to do equivalently a task to help summarize or to perform some calculations directly from your Google Sheets, right? So this is actually for the Google fan out there who is using Bart, all right? And of course, this Google Bart, what you are experiencing, what I'm showing you, right, it's actually only in my current location, which is, you can see I'm in Malaysia, right? And of course, certain things again that you won't get it in Malaysia yet because it's still experiment. Now, I'm also talking about even the Google search. If I go to google.com, you can see that this is actually the Malaysian version. Now, I have gone to labs.google. Labs.google is Google Labs. See, Google's latest experiments in their labs. So you can see that I have actually, you can join a wait list for the IDX project, but I'm just talking about this one. Even Magic Compose. For those of you who are using Android, you've got your messages in there. You can have this Magic Compose, which is sounded like if you receive a message and you don't know what to reply, and you've got the AI version to help you reply the message, generating suggestions for you. But the most important thing is SGE here, right? SGE means, okay, that's actually the way on how Google gives you an AI integrated way, AI powered way of Google search. But when I click get started here, you can see, sorry, isn't available for your account right now. Okay. Now, what I can show you right now is if you have a VPN with you, let me show you. I will use my Kaspersky VPN. Just kind of like turn on my VPN, and I've got a free VPN here. Just turn on my Kaspersky VPN. Like a server as in Los Angeles, USA. So now I'm in USA already. Okay. Using this VPN right now, I go to google.com, which I've already enabled. All right. So now, oh yeah, one more thing. I want to show you also as I go to labs.google. Now, because I'm in US right now, let's say I turn on my VPN. So if I click on workspace, sorry, this one, where is it? Yeah, Google search, get started, right? So it says try new experiments in Search Labs. Now, because I need to use Google Chrome because they know that I'm using Microsoft Edge, right? So let me show you now. If I use my Chrome, I launch Google Chrome. This is my Google Chrome. And because I turned on my VPN, I'm now in Los Angeles. So I'm no longer in Malaysia. So you can see now, if I go to Google, sorry, labs.google, I'm also signed in with my account. And if I go down to the search here, when I click get started, they will know that I've opted in for SGE. There you go. Generative AI Insight Search. Directly the search bar, you can type in what you want to search, and it's generative AI. So you got browsing and stuff like that, even Google Sheets, all that. So it's already at, there. So what you can see, right, is that I can go to Google right now. Okay, and now I've got this button here, which is the Search Labs. When I go to Search Labs here, right, which brings me to the option of turning off or turning on certain things here. That's what I've shown you earlier. But right now, I can actually do a search. Okay, let's say, for example, I can say, generate a cat in a hat. Or maybe I just say, generate a picture of a cat in a hat. Simple. Okay. And you can see, usually it's all this. This is what you get. But because I've actually used the SGE, now they've got this part, which is an AI-powered Google itself. See, so this looks like a Bing Image Creator or the DALL-E 3 or Midjourney. So they would generate a couple of illustrations of a cat in a hat, right? So this is only there as an experimental, and you must have your VPN on for the Malaysian crowd, for the for Southeast Asia, wherever you belong to. It's only available in US right now. So I turn on my VPN, then only I can access all this, all right? So the portion of SGE, right, which is the generative AI based search, is only applicable if you have your VPN on, right? So anyway, I'm using a free VPN, only 300 megabytes limit, and I've used up 51 megabytes already. So it's just a demonstration anyway, right? So if I turn off my VPN right now, right, and if I were to press enter here, You can see I don't have that anymore. Immediately, I'm thrown back to Malaysia. All right, so I no longer have the access to the Google itself. Right now, speaking of even like Google Bard, and even like ChatGPT, right? So these are all platforms, depending on whether you like to use Google Bard or uh, ChatGPT. Now, I always do a lot of experimentation. The same prompt here, I can try to do it in my Google Bard. Let's see and compare the results. I will paste the prompt here and run it. It's the same prompt that I did in my ChatGPT as well as my Bing Chat. So you can see, you can check this out. Some people will give me the opinion as in Google Bard seems to be much better experience for me. They like this because you can view other drafts that they have. You see, you can see what's going on. Actually, behind the scene, Google Bard has generated 3 different drafts, okay, of your prompt here, of my prompt here. So the first draft they show you in the form of a table, and because this is a table, they also have something like a Bing Chat where you can export to Google Sheets, and the instructions is at the bottom. They got tips as well, right? So if you don't like this first draft, I can click on second draft. Do you like this output where the table is at the bottom, or maybe you like the third output? Okay, it's gonna be like this. And this one, they try to put it into a table, but I think the finishing is not there. So at least, right, I can see there are few drafts shown by Google Bard. Now, some experiences by Google Bard, because it's by Google, right? For example, if you try to ask Google Bard for where are the famous Muslim restaurants in, let's say, Vietnam, Google Bard will show you and try to find you and suggest to you different restaurants in, let's say, Vietnam. Let's say, be specific, let's say in Saigon, okay, in Ho Chi Minh City. Right now, besides just telling you the names of the Muslim restaurants, they might be able to also show you if there is actually the picture of the restaurant and there's a street view directly in Google Maps. They will show you that output as well, right? And of course, the can Bart and Bing analyze Excel data like the one you did in GPT-4 earlier? Okay. Now, first of all, right, I believe Bart has got only analysis of images. There is no data analysis. That's the only power, okay, that ChatGPT has, right? But do not forget, Bart recently, I just mentioned that, recently has the integration. You can install, you can turn on this extension to your Google Workspace. So if you have Google Sheets that you have got data in there, right, and you upload it and store in Google Workspace. So now when you turn this on and you can get your Google Bard, right, this is actually my filet mignon. You can create a new chat and you can then enter a prompt asking Bard to go into your Google Sheets, look for this sheet by this name, all right? You must know the sheet name, right? And then ask Google Bard to analyze and perform some calculations or analysis. That's one step closer for Bard to fight with ChatGPT. All right. So thank you so much for your question. Okay, but right now that's your answer. Bart is going to, and it's already one step closer to be able to do what ChatGPT for the advanced data analysis can do. All right. But I like advanced data analysis better because they are much more solid in the terms that they are able to really give a deep down analysis of my data. But I haven't tried yet so much on Bard because I don't actually store much in my Google Workspace. Google Workspace in the sense that you just use Google Sheets and everything is stored practically in a Google Drive anyway, right? So if you have that, well, you can try it. So and then maybe you can actually analyze the results, right? Which one is better? But I still like personally. That's in my humble opinion. That's only me. I'm not saying that you should, right? This is my personal opinion. I still like GPT-4 better. Okay, so that's Google Bard. Now, for those of you who are maybe students, or maybe you are a researcher, you like to do research, you write papers about research, you like to do statistics and factual stuffs, you want to upload PDFs and analyze. Now, this is something that I want you guys to understand right now. As powerful as this advanced data analysis is, which you can click attach files, right? This button to attach files, you attach PDF, you can't do summary. That's the only drag about this. Okay. This GPT-4 advanced data analysis, if you want to do PDF analysis, it's not there yet. Unless you go through plugins. This is actually the more powerful side of ChatGPT, which is plugins. You go to plugins here. You can go down here and look at the plugin store. You go into a plugin store, there are hundreds, literally. If you click all, the pages are so many. There's so many plugins out there on the market. You can all install the plugins. For example, you can, let's say, search for the PDF related plugins. If I search for it, you can see PDF Creator can create, PDF Reader. This is actually one of that, quite easy, whereby there is this thing called PDF Reader. You just install this plugin, and now you can talk to this plugin. You can ask the plugin to analyze a link to your PDF file, ask questions about the PDF, the contents of it, get them to summarize, or maybe to get them to rewrite the contents of the PDF. All right. So understandably, this is actually one very powerful way that you can use, which is the plugins. The advanced data analysis, you can't do that yet, right? Yes, in default here, right, you can actually upload an image, attach images. GPT-4V can as well, yep. But I found another platform which I do my PDFs there, okay, which is, ladies and gentlemen, Perplexity AI. This is my next platform that I want to talk about. So ChatGPT is one. Number two, Google Bard. Number three right now is called Perplexity AI. Now in Perplexity AI, right, what I can show you, right, is that you can upload files. Now one thing for sure, right, is that because I'm on Perplexity AI free, I haven't upgraded to Pro yet because I'm still assessing, okay, I'm still testing this platform. So you can upgrade to Pro, right, whereby you can upgrade to Claude or GPT-4. But Perplexity AI is more towards creating threads so you can upload files. So in this case, right, okay, and when you click upload the file, you can upload text or PDF. There are only 3 left today. And there is also built in their own Copilot, right? But actually, another platform that you can do this PDF summarization, which before I even gone into Perplexity AI, it's Claude 2. This is actually by a company called Anthropic, Claude.ai. But sad to say, guys, I was just lucky that I'm able to sign up, right, with my VPN on, because right now Claude is not available in this region. All right. So Claude is practically by Anthropic. This is whereby I can click on, see here, as you can see, I can attach file, but maximum only 5, and each file can only be 10 megabytes. You can upload PDFs, text, CSV, all that. So as you can see, when I do this, right, I've got one chat history here. I uploaded 5 different of my PDFs, which are all my course outlines. I'm just doing a test here. I upload 5 different PDFs, and I say, when I ask a question about, please analyze and tell me what they are. So they're able to show me all the course outlines. So then I say, for this file, can you write a script to explain generally what is it all about? I want the script to fit into 1 minute explanation time frame, and they generate me a script like that. I said, now do the same for the next file. They will do all that. So this is actually what I use, okay, called Claude. So Claude.ai is now available only in the Americas. Okay, I think Europe also can, but not this part of the world. Now I can turn on my VPN. That's what I did. I turned on my VPN and then I just sign up. But that time when I sign up, right, it just allowed me to go in. But today I get people to do a VPN and sign up, but they became very smart. You know why? Because even though you're on VPN, when you sign up, they ask you to provide a phone number. Let's say you turn on VPN, you are cheating. You're trying to lie to Anthropic, okay, that you're in US. They ask you for a US phone number so they can send you a 6-digit code to that phone number. Because of that, that is why that's a drag. Now no one else can sign up, even though with your VPN, unless you can get a friend who really is staying in the US, have the US phone number, then you ask your friend, can you check for me, get ready for this code? That's the only way. Other than that, right, you can't get Claude access. Because previously when I signed up for Claude, when they first announced, there's no such step. I just turn on my VPN and I can sign up already. Now, even without my VPN, once you sign up, right, you can access it without VPN already. You can see that I'm signed in. Without my VPN, just now you saw me turn it off, but I am able to log in again and again without VPN. It's only sign up time you have to have a VPN, and today you need the American phone number because they're going to send a code. They want to make sure that you're really in US and not just using VPN. Okay, but in my case, I sign up already and I am loose. Okay. And of course, there are these are all the platforms you can use. And of course, let's talk about, let's say, okay, first one is ChatGPT. Then we've got Bing Chat. Bing Chat, right, is actually equivalent to ChatGPT. I would just say equivalent. I just put a slash there, but actually they are not really that equivalent. Okay, but they're riding on the same GPT platform, right? Then I've got Bard. Then I've got Claude 2 right now. Claude is version number 2. Then I've got Perplexity AI. All right. And of course, we've got Poe as well, Poe.com. Now, I'm not really a fan of Poe, right? Poe is just like able to, it's a bit how do I say that? It's a bit too personal for me, whereby Poe, one good thing about it is that you can access different bots out there on the market. You can see, you can get Poe to access GPT-4. You can get Poe to access even stable diffusion for, text to image, You can get Poe to access Claude, as you can see, different models of Claude. Your ChatGPT as well, 16K version, GPT 3.5 Turbo, whatever model. The latest beta release for GPT-4, the 32K token model, even Google Palm, you see the Palm 2, the Llama. So you can see these are all the bots here. But of course, I think you have to pay for that, So that is why there's another one that you can actually go into that, but you have to go into a bot. You can choose a bot that you want to talk to using Poe, right? So Poe.com, that's another one that you can explore. And of course, there's another one platform which is called Hugging Chat, which is by Hugging Face. So huggingface.co. This is actually whereby they will also, you have to sign up. I never sign up this one because it's, to me, a bit more complex. Okay, it's a platform, something like Poe, whereby Hugging Chat, it's the chat bot that was developed by this company called Hugging Face. So they have models which that you can see they are very, very in-depth. This interface is a bit too messy for me. And I think for business users and all that, you might be a bit confused here. So sometimes I'm reluctant to talk about Poe and Hugging Chat and that much, maybe up to even Perplexity AI. But right now, if you were to personally ask me, so you are telling me there are so many platforms out there. So which one should I use? Please. So I only usually, right? Okay, I only talk about only the 3, right? The top 3. This is what, or maybe if you include, you want to split out Bing Chat, you want to split them out, there will be 4. All right. One thing about Bing Chat is that it's free, just like Google Bard, right? Claude 2 might be out of the question for now because you can't sign up yet, all right? Even with a VPN, but like I said, even with VPN turned on, if you come to the step where they ask you for an American phone number, if you happen to have a friend staying in the US, well, you can get him or her to stand by with a code, right? You can get his or her help. That's the only way to sign up for Claude right now. Claude is kind of powerful because of doing summarization of PDFs and stuff like that. Okay, but if you were to throw away the Claude from the equation, then you have these 2 choices. Okay, Bing Chat would be the one that it's whereby you don't need to worry about payment, right? It's up to a certain limit where you can even do text to image generation and stuff like that. All right. So this is something that so far that I can show you based on the platform, right? But I'll be focusing more towards ChatGPT because, guys, if you were to sign up for my course, I have created 5 different courses so far, right? Each one, the course, right? Of course, we have got the first series 100, which is to compare the different platforms. Well, I've got a basic prompting using ChatGPT, nothing much. And then I've got the creative prompting, which is talking about Midjourney and the Leonardo AI. So I'm going to talk about a little bit more about the imagery, okay, right after the break, right? So we've got a 15 minutes break right after this, whereby after that, I'm going to talk about Midjourney and, of course, the Leonardo AI. And of course, because we've got DALL-E 3, when I created the course, there's absence of DALL-E 3. But with DALL-E 3, then I can show you also how you can compare the different qualities of the images generated by DALL-E 3 compared to Midjourney as well as Leonardo AI, right? So in terms of the, one more thing before the break, okay, I would like to share something which is about the prompts, okay? Now, do take note, okay, that when you write a prompt in your ChatGPT, okay, let's say GPT 3.5, let's say, for example, right? Whatever that you type here, let's say you can say that, please write me a congratulatory email to my colleague who has recently been promoted. Okay, something like that. Well, this is something that what you think that you can write. Yeah, it will write to you something, but you can set a tone of voice. We call it TOV, right? TOV is actually something that you need to understand as well. TOV stands for a tone of voice. Tone of voice for your prompting is very, very important, right? Tone of voice, there are many of them. Okay, so actually there are quite maybe more than 10, up to 20 tone of voices, right? But I can actually share to you a few. For example, you can ask ChatGPT, right? Uh, Set the tone, or maybe you can say write the email using a formal tone. You see the word formal, or you want it to be informal. So you got formal, you got informal, or maybe I want to put it neutral. Neutral means straightforward, unbiased. They can avoid any emotions, avoid opinions. That's when you set it to neutral. But if you put it formal, formal means you want it to be in a precise language, right? And it will avoid all the contractions. They really follow strictly to grammatical rules. But if you want it to be informal, means it's going to be casual and relaxed. So maybe I put that informal tone. Let's see what will happen if I do this. You can see that they'll output the email. As you can see, congratulations on your well-deserved promotion. Dear the colleague name. See, they will put placeholders for you here. I hope this email finds you in great spirits. I couldn't be more thrilled to share my heartfelt congratulations. Wow, what a fantastic news and blah, blah, blah. So you can see that it also understands my company name here, right? And you can see warmest regards, they know my name, and then I'm the CEO of this company. Now, why is that so? Well, I'm going to share to you what's going on here. How come ChatGPT knows me, right? There is something in the background, okay, that you need to know that you can set it, which is going to be valuable. And last time it's only available for ChatGPT Plus users, but recently OpenAI opens it up for even free users, okay, which is called custom instructions, right? I'll talk more about the custom instructions after the break. Now, before the break, let me just handle one more question here. Can ChatGPT make graph or chart using our own data? Well, Ahmad Khairul, I think you have seen just now, whereby in ChatGPT 4, I've just actually uploaded my Excel file. Where is the? Okay, there you go. I think there you go. So you can see that I uploaded my Excel file here, right? And then I asked it to analyze, and I just say generate data stories. And I think the chart is not shown. Let me just try to refresh. Sometimes I need to refresh my page. And there you go. You can generate some charts here. Okay. So that is why uh, this is actually what I've actually shown earlier. Okay, so they can create these charts, but sad to say the chart is just only a static image. It's not those moving ones. It's just an image. You right click and you're gonna save the image as. You see, you can save the image. And you can actually save the image, right, and ask ChatGPT to explain to you. So what if you do not know how to explain this? But at the bottom, they have got narrative for you. They'll explain to you what's all the charts about. But what if, let's say, I right click, I save the image as. Let me try to demonstrate this. I save the image as on my desktop, let's say. Okay, I'll save the image as this dot, maybe a PNG file, right? I save it. So once I've saved this PNG file, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go now to create a new chat using GPT-4 default. I'm going to upload this image. I'm going to attach my image. What's the image just now? This was the this was the one. This was the image of the chart which I've just copied and saved it. Now I re-upload to ChatGPT 4 default. And you know what? I just want ChatGPT to explain to me. Can you explain to me? No, I just want. That's. I need to think of a better way of prompting. Okay, not say can you. Uh, Generate narratives for the image above. That's it. Let's put it as short as possible, but yet it's direct. Okay. So we can see how you explain, because sometimes the chart that he generated, you don't even know what they're all about. There's a title there, but you do not know how to read that. So you can see that they are trying to show you. They'll try to generate a narrative for you. So you see that distribution of order quantity, the graph showcases a highly concentrated distribution. Most orders hover around a quantity of just over one with minimal variance. So we can see that they are able to use GPT-4V, the vision, right, where you can upload an image and you ask ChatGPT to explain to you what is this, right? But remember one thing, for GPT-4V so far, if you upload an image, the image with a human in there, you can get ChatGPT to only explain about the inanimate things, right? The human face or whatsoever, they will not have any opinion about it. You cannot get ChatGPT 4 to explain to you or describe about the human. No humans are going to be explained or going to be interpreted by GPT-4V. Only inanimate things. Okay. Uh, is it just me that the screen of frozen? Can you guys see my screen? I'm moving the mouse and all that. Is it frozen? Screen is okay, right? I think those of you which you find that if your screen is frozen, it might be your network connection. All right. So, okay, how accurate the info or answer given by ChatGPT or Bard? Well, Tracy, if you were to ask me how accurate, I can tell you based on my experience only, because this is not an answer given by OpenAI and all that, because it's AI, and it's up to you to interpret how accurate it can be. So you must find out your own answer and then you compare it. That's the only thing. But what has happened to me so far, it is accurate. They never fail, right? The only thing that I can debate about, right, is that how accurate that if I were to ask DALI 3 to generate an image, and the image will have discrepancies, of course, but text to text, right, or text analyze the analysis of data and all that, right, it's pretty accurate, right? If it's not accurate, right, then you're gonna need to actually question GPT-4. You can actually question it, because sometimes there are instances whereby they generated a data, the findings, right, which is there's a slight variance. It's not accurate by up to the decimals or whatsoever. There might be a slight variance, but you know what? You can say, "Are you sure?" You can just ask ChatGPT, "Are you sure?" or "Are you kidding me?" If you ask like that, you will scare ChatGPT 4 to say, "Apologies, maybe that's an I've overlooked. That's an oversight. Let me reanalyze." You can actually go and threaten GPT-4 and say, "No, I don't think so." You can disagree with ChatGPT and say, "Please reanalyze. I do not agree." You can say that. Okay. So, well, okay. How can we extract the data from this PNG chart? You cannot extract data from the PNG chart. Okay, you can't, because the chart is an static image. And what is the data behind the image, right? There is none, because you just upload the image. They're just trying to explain what they can understand from the image. Now, for example, you can even use your phone, right? Snap a picture of a whiteboard. It's a whiteboard. People scribble something in there, or maybe a piece of paper with some human handwriting. You upload it there and just ask ChatGPT, "Can you output the text to me?" Because sometimes, right, for example, even like a doctor's handwriting. I've actually recently seen, okay, a posting on LinkedIn. People upload, right, a doctor's handwriting, a doctor's prescription, and a doctor's handwriting are all shorthand. Only a doctor can understand that, right? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, right, that guy showed an image, right, whereby they scribble something like this, something like this. It's just that, it's a doctor's handwriting. They upload this picture to ChatGPT 4 and ask ChatGPT, "What is this?" And you know what? ChatGPT says that's representing paracetamol. Do you see that? ChatGPT is able to interpret doctor's handwriting as well. Because when they write like this, but it's just with the P and then at the end with the L, they say, "Yeah, that's paracetamol." So that's one power about ChatGPT 4, because it's able to analyze handwritings as well. And what they say, even they upload a picture of an Egyptian hieroglyphic, a hieroglyph, right? So those are the one that they did an archaeological digging in the Great Pyramids of Egypt. They dig out a tablet, all the old hieroglyphic writings. I don't even know what is that, right? You upload a picture of the hieroglyphs. ChatGPT-4 will output in English and explain to you the hieroglyphs. Okay, so that's the power of GPT-4. Okay, So, yeah, there's one opinion that says analyze a discharge note written by a doctor and request it to provide feedback and improvise the content. It did flawlessly, right? Yeah, I agree to that. So doctor's handwriting, to us, how can we read that? Okay, but yet you can upload the image, just snap a picture of that and upload to GPT-4. You know what? If you have a prescription, okay, a medication prescription with how many milligrams of whatever there is, right? Or you have actually a bottle of a syrup, a cough syrup, or some medication. Snap a picture of it, you upload to GPT-4, ask GPT-4 about the opinion of this medication. Who or is it suitable for an adult or for children aged below 10? They will give you their opinion. So GPT-4V, right, is like your own personal doctor as well, or a medical advisor. Okay, but I'm not asking you guys, okay, to put your life at the hands of an AI. Don't just trust that. Always consult a real human medical professional. Do not trust 100% and put your life in the hands of the AI. AI to me is not artificial intelligence. I always tell this to my class. To me, AI stands for assisted intelligence. I never call it as artificial intelligence. It's not artificial, it's so real to me, right? So AI is just assisted intelligence. They assist you, they cannot help you make decision. Decision is in your hands, but do not fully trust it. Review, okay? Get a second opinion, get a third opinion. One of the opinions are given to you by AI. Are you going to 100% trust it? Not me. Even though I'm a certified prompt engineer and all that, right? And I've used this for like the past almost a year already, but I'm not ready to fully trust this. I always do double checking. That is the reason why I sign up to so many platforms. Whatever output I get in ChatGPT, I will do the same in Google Bard, let's say, or Bing Chat, and I do it in Claude, I do it in Perplexity, and I want to find out whether these results tally or not. How much to the degree or to the extent that it can be trusted, right? And so that's actually what I recommend you all to do. All right. You to be this should be our last round all the way until close to 12 p.m. Now, I promised you all to tell you about how is it that possible every time I do something, they'll say, certainly, Gerald. So ChatGPT knows my name, right? And if I did, let's say just now, the colleagues promotion, congratulatory email, all that, just says that Gemerin Consulting, you mentioned my company name here, right? And then it says warmest regards, he knows my name and knows my position in my company, all that, right? So how is this possible? Now, something known as custom instructions, one of the brilliant ideas that OpenAI came out to address the challenges of the initial stage when the early ChatGPT was released. Every time you begin a new chat, let's say you begin a new chat, and you have to set the environment straight. Okay, you have to always tell ChatGPT before what you want. You have to tell ChatGPT your profile. For example, how would you want yourself to be addressed? What is your name and all that? Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say here, right, in simpler explanation, if you want ChatGPT in every new chat that you open up, you do not want to keep on repeating yourself and remind ChatGPT what or who you are and what you wanted and what you do always. What are the typical tasks you always use ChatGPT for? And you do not want to repeat this again and again in every new chat. Now, OpenAI came out with something known as custom instructions. So it's in your settings. Okay. Last time, custom instructions, when they began, they only released it for ChatGPT Plus users. But today, they open it up for free users as well. So go into custom instructions and you can see this dialog. Look at that. In my custom instructions, I have set all this. There are two boxes here. The first one at the top. What would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? You see, what I did is like this. My name. Oh, so sorry. You can see my age as well. Okay. Based in Malaysia. I'm the founder. I'm the CEO. I'm an AI prompt engineering master trainer, Microsoft certified trainer, head of the corporate and professional IT, whatever company called. You see, I tell him my company name, what I specializes in. I also profile to him that I love to talk about the emergence of AI technologies such as generative AI and what are my goals right? To generate writing content. You see, I tell her everything here. And then at the bottom part, right, this is interesting. Now, one more thing is that every boxes here, you cannot type more than 1,500 characters. These are not words, they are characters. Everything is counted by character. The character, right, is known as a token. Okay, when they say 4,000 tokens means 4,000 characters. Okay, so 1,500 only, but I've used up only 705 here. But look at this at the bottom. This is interesting. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Now, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? You can now customize how would you like ChatGPT to always respond to you. You see, I put there, I like to be addressed as Gerald. You see, so they always address me Gerald. ChatGPT should be formal, professional, slightly casual, and entertaining. It has to write in a descriptive yet concise manner, must produce high quality information for my target audience who are professionals with background levels from beginners, intermediates, and advanced. I also mentioned ChatGPT must have different vocabulary usage, right? Because sometimes if I don't put this right, I found ChatGPT always sound monotonous. They always sound, let's say, for example, excellent, 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 and there's no other words. Always talk about excellent, you know. So I put it here must have different vocabulary usage and must provide suggestions or ideas when necessary. Right? That is why when I ask ChatGPT to do this task, after that they will say, "Would you like me to proceed to do this? Would you like me to generate an idea?" So they have some suggestions further, okay, from your question earlier. Okay, they will suggest to you what they can do after this step. And I say always use minimal tokens. That means whatever that you respond to me, try to use minimal tokens. It means lesser, shorter versions. Unless it's necessary to provide a detailed response, then you can go beyond that. And I say here, when you quote statistics or facts, please cite where you get the sources from. Because I would like to know you don't bullshit me, you know? Right? So you actually cite the sources. And most importantly, a lot of people will laugh here. I tell ChatGPT, do not hallucinate. Okay? So I'm sure some of you guys have heard of this. What is hallucinate? Hallucination. You see, in generative AI, one of the most scariest part is that they can hallucinate. You know that they can get high on drugs. You know, it's like they have sniffed some glue or they have smoked some weed. So what do you mean by hallucination? How can AI hallucinate? You see, hallucination is a process again that when they were pushed to a corner and when they were faced with a question that you have actually tried to dig deeper and deeper until the point is that they can no longer calculate and they can no longer return any answers to you, they will start providing some crap to you. They will churn up some inaccurate, they will churn up some misguided information and all that. And the thing is that they still sound very professional, right? So this is the part, okay, whereby you know, okay, that sometimes you can ask questions, okay, that depending on how you prompt it. Now, ChatGPT is trying to base on its own training data and answer you based on what they were trained for. But sometimes if you ask some questions, okay, that is a bit factual and there's a limit to it, but you're trying to push ChatGPT beyond the limit. And you know what? You must know that ChatGPT, it's supposedly it's made to be polite. They are trying their best not to turn you down unless it violates certain privacy policy or whatsoever. For example, generating Elon Musk, you know, and you know, you quote people's names which they are forbidden to violate this privacy kind of policy. That is only the time they will turn you down. But ChatGPT is not made to turn people down. So they will just say sorry, that's an oversight, you know. They'll try their best to generate an answer to you. So when they were pushed beyond the limit until they know that I cannot find the answer, that is when they hallucinate. They will start giving you some information that is misguided, that is wrong or inaccurate or whatever. Now, recently I found one funny thing, and I can demonstrate this to you. Okay, so these are my custom instructions. So if I begin a new chat, I'm using 3.5. I'm assuming myself as a free user. Okay, recently I found it like this. How many, look at the way I type, okay? How many, okay? I look at the way I type. How many M's are there in Canada? Look at that. Okay, watch this. In the word Canada, there are two M's. What kind of bullshit is this? This is actually one of the misguided information. And you know it's perfectly wrong. I'm not saying that this is an example of hallucination. It's not hallucination. The problem here is in the prompting. I will explain later. Now watch what the answer. Two M's in Canada. Now let's get back to discussing AI technologies and how it can benefit your IT training business. You see, they know my custom instructions so much, and they're trying to switch topic, trying to change the subject. To me, they sounded like ChatGPT made a mistake, but yet this guy is trying to lose his way out of it. Now, you know what I'm going to say? Are you sure? I apologize. You see, again, they always apologize for the confusion. In the word Canada, there are actually no M's. See? Thank you for pointing that out. Now, please feel free to ask again. Look at that. This is a classic example that, according to the way you prompt, sometimes this is an example to demonstrate you cannot fully trust AI. Okay, even with a simple question like this, how many M's are there in Canada? And they can still make a stupid mistake. They lie to you, there are two M's, and then they try to wiggle their way out of it. And they say, are you sure? Then they apologize. In the word Canada, there are actually no M's. You know what? I think I had trained this guy up to be better. Even though I asked this many times already, now I ask again in the new chat session, right? They still make a mistake. The first answer they gave to me is two M's. But yet when I ask, I threaten the guy, are you sure? Then only they immediately say there are no M's. But I can tell you, my first experience when I tried this out, right? Listen to me carefully. When I ask how many M's are there in Canada, they say there are three M's. I say, are you serious? They say, I apologize. In the word Canada, there are two M's. I say, are you kidding me? I'm sorry again. There is one M. For third time, I say, you must be joking. Can you please tell me clearly how many M's are there in Canada? Then for the third time, they apologize and say, oh, I found out that there's an oversight. There is no M's at all in Canada. That was my first attempt. Three M's, they say sorry, they say two M's. After that, they say sorry again, they say there is one M. And finally, I just cannot stand it anymore. I say, please analyze it again. And they say sorry for the third time and say there are no M's. That was then. That was like, I think, a week or two before when I tried this. Now, today, I'm doing this live demo to you. I asked one time, they babble some crap here. They say two M's, and I just threaten, are you sure? Then only they immediately report no M's. Do you know that they are quite smart already? Because I say, how many M's are there in Canada? They say report two M's. You know why? Because there's a problem with my prompt. Do you know where the problem is? I say, how many M's are there in Canada? This prompt is so vague that ChatGPT thinking, right, okay, this M can mean many things. And they say in Canada, they're talking, they might be thinking, they set a scope that you're talking about, you're referring to the country Canada. Inside the country of Canada, how many M? The M can mean anything. So that is why they simply hallucinate and return something else there, right? So that is actually how in the M's, or how many M's are there in Canada? So they're trying to actually create, okay, that kind of answer to you. But right now, in this case, in the word Canada, there are two M's. So at least in the first place, right, they mentioned that in the word Canada, all right, they are trying to actually understand that you are trying to mean not in the country Canada, but the word Canada. How many M's are there? The letter M's in the spelling. So at least they still get it straight, but yet they answer me with two M's. Okay. So yes, this unknown user that you're not at his light. I'm just actually trying to crank up, okay, to say that they lied to me. Of course, AI is not a person, okay? Only person will lie, right? AI, it's a piece of technology that we train them, right? So everybody understand, okay, that I just use the word lie. I don't mean that they lie to me. It's based on my context. That's why I mentioned clearly. It's something to do with the prompt. There's a problem in my prompt. Okay, so that is why I've always actually, create, okay, the topic, okay, the importance, stresses the importance of prompt engineering, right? So the AI hallucinated, all right, and they are just actually based on a very vague prompt here. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so you might have misunderstood, okay, what I mean there. All right. Okay, so that is just an example that I'm trying to show you, okay, that there can be a very simple question like this, which you think that is valid, but in this case, there is a problem in how I prompt it. A lot of people think that oh, AI is actually very, very intelligent, right? Because of I there, it stands for intelligence. So I can just simply type something that, and somehow it's natural language. But the challenge always behind the prompt engineering is you cannot just simply type a short question and expect AI to understand every single detail. Like I said, that based on the prompt framework like CEDO or the PACT or any other frameworks, you must provide at least minimum some context. You must give them a task. You must specify details of the output expected and stuff like that. You must set that. Okay, so you must give them a proper scope, right? I always mention that even in search, if we talk about like, for example, searching something, if you ask a person to find you something, an object, if you don't set the scope, you won't get the actual result. Okay? Or maybe you get the results slower. But if you set a scope, then you get the results much more accurate and it's going to be faster. Right? For example, I can say, please find me a bottle of Coca-Cola, right? And I never mention scope. So what this guy will do, he'll run around the whole city or whole town just to look for a bottle. But if I say, please find me a bottle of soda within this room, you see, I set the scope straight, within this room. So the scope is smaller, more targeted, okay? But that is searching scope. But what about questions to an AI? Part of your prompt, you must give more details. When you explain more, people will know more. So what about AI? AI is actually trained from the data that we submitted. So when they're trying to predict what are you going to talk about, because what they're doing right is based on a model. It's a machine learning model in the background. What they call it as the large language model, right? So what this model does, it's to do prediction. Okay, it's to run through a series of permutations when they're being trained, and based on what you are typing, they can try to predict and try to guess what's going to be next. How they determine the next steps, okay, the next framework, the next step or the next course of action, it's based on what are the instructions you send to them, right? So the essentials, okay, of prompt engineering is about providing enough details in your instructions and also the context that you set in your prompt, right? So that's ultimately how they are actually being a critical point, okay, for ChatGPT, right? So what I've just pointed out also is that custom instructions. This is actually a feature that is quite cool in the sense that you can change this anytime. The moment you put in a new set of custom instructions here, and the moment you save, right, this will be used by ChatGPT for new chats, for future chats. So sometimes I put it like that. I have got different sets of my custom instructions, which I save it into a different text file. All right. So if I save it into different text files, so let's say, for example, now I know that I'm going to get ChatGPT to do something a bit more targeted and focus on a particular subject, then I will grab a different set of custom instructions and I prepare them. So because the custom instructions is to set the motion, is to set the scope, whatever that you want to prepare, and profile yourself. What do you expect? What are your expectations, and what do you want, or how would you like ChatGPT to return the results to you? Then you can actually put it all in here. All right. So that is literally what you can do in your custom instructions. It's not that once you put it here, you cannot change it. You see, it's still editable, right? So you can copy and paste a different set of different instructions, and then when you save it, then you can set the motion for future chats. All right. And yes, so you guys are already also trying to mess around with the same prompts that I tried, right? So they ask, are you sure? The reply is yes, I'm sure the word cat has 2-letter M. Oh man. Yeah, sometimes like I say, this is whereby there is some unpredictability, okay, in the experiences of what the LLM can do for you. You see, in this case, okay, I've never experienced that. When you say that, are you sure? They say that yes, I'm sure. Now that one, I am yet to experience that. But all this while, whenever I ask, are you sure? When I threaten the guy, right, and they will always say apologize. They'll try to recalculate. Even though they can make the second mistake, I'll say, are you kidding me? all right? Or I think you're wrong. You can reply that, and you can see what's going to be next. But it's the first time that I think that I'm seeing the reply says that when you ask, "Are you sure?" The reply says, "Yes, I'm sure." Now that is something wild there. Okay. Okay, the question is means if we continue from our previous chats, the custom instruction would not be applicable. Yes, it's not going to be applicable. Now, especially you guys know that today ChatGPT can share a chat. For example, like this graph insight here, I uploaded here, right? This one I'm using GPT-4 image, the vision. I uploaded this file and I say generate this narrative. And every chat session, I can click this button here, share the chat. So you can see sharing chats. Oh yeah, sharing conversations with images not yet supported. I'm so sorry. Yeah, not the one with the vision. Let's say this filet mignon. Okay, this one. All right. Now when I click share chat, so you can see that the whole chat experiences can be shared out. So I can put in the title here, and I can then just click on copy link. When I copy this link, I paste the link, let's say in Teams meeting, you guys can click the link, right? Okay, and continue my conversation. But what you guys will see, for example, if I copy the link, all right, so link has been copied. To demonstrate this, I open up an in private browser. Let's say I open up an in private browser, and I'm going to paste the link here. There you go. This is actually the link which directs to my shared chat. So when I press enter, let's say your colleague shared to you, see? So this is a shared chat, all right? But like I say, you can see what would be the results, the entire conversation, and you can even click here to continue this conversation, provided that you have signed in. But look at this, right at the top, they will tell you this thing, okay? This conversation may reflect the link creator's personalized data, which isn't shared and can meaningfully change how the model responds. What they're trying to tell you is that if you click continue this conversation, right, they will literally look at your custom instructions and put it into motion. Because when I share you my chat, my custom instruction scope is not going to be forwarded. Even though anyone who has access to my shared chat, they can continue this conversation, but then their own custom instructions will take place here. So which might actually change the result of what you got to continue here. That's the disclaimer that they're trying to tell you here. Okay, you might not get the proper meaning based on the history of the chat here because you have switched the custom instructions. They're just telling you that this conversation was initiated by the original author's own custom instructions, but now when you continue, you will not get the original scope, the original author's custom instruction. Instead, your custom instructions will be overwritten here. So whatever you continue, that's that will affect the outcome of this. Okay. So this is how we can now all share the chats and all that. I'm not so sure whether it's available for free users to share the chat. I cannot remember, right? But custom instructions, yes, it is available for free users. I'm not so sure. Maybe some of you guys can tell me that, right? When you type it in here and all that, do you have this button here to share chat? Right, so which I believe sharing should be able to be available for free users since custom instructions is already available, right? Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you, Zaira. Yes, free users can share the chat as well. So, yep, that would be great. Okay, because custom instructions is something really handy, I would say, right? Really, really useful, right? And because I set the motion straight and I do not need to keep repeating myself again and again how I want you to respond to me and how I want to profile myself to you. So every time when I create a new chat, right, then you know who am I. So you can even type there, do you know who am I? Right? Yes, you're Gerald Hong. See, they will output everything based on how they read my custom instructions. Okay, so that's ultimately what you have there, right? M's in Canada too. This one I'm just going to delete this guy. Okay, now I would like to talk a little bit more about prompting here. Okay, maybe I can just share a couple of prompts, what it can do and all that, right? So most importantly, right, is the usage of placeholders. All right. So let's say, for example, I just want to share a little bit of an example here. Let me just get some of my things here. Okay, let's say, for example, I want to write, okay? For example, I want to write a book or an article about something, right? So for example, let me just try to create a new chat. Again, I'm using the free ones, okay? ChatGPT 3.5. I assume that everyone is free. I'm going to start with free. No point for me to, I already explained to you what are the things, the features available if you pay $20 a month. But right now, I'm just going to use the free ones, okay? So watch this. I want to list 10 books, okay, where I can learn about, let's say, scuba diving, all right? Full stop. And let's say output to a table. Simple as that, right? Now when I press enter, so there you go. They'll tell you the author, the description, and all that, okay? So yeah, it's good. I've got 10 books here, all about scuba diving and description, all that, okay? Now I can continue this by doing this as well. I say, please add the price column into the table. There you go. You can do that. If, let's say, for example, if you kind of like not really satisfied with the original output of the table, you can just say add one more column, which is a price. All right. So one about tragic tragic diving. Yeah, correct. But I'm just showing you an example of this, right? Now, what about, let's say right now I want to change the topic. Yeah, you have listed a list of books, okay, about scuba diving. What if right now I want to talk about a different topic? Okay, let's say we talk about jungle trekking. Maybe not jungle trekking. Maybe playing tennis. Okay, I want to read books teaches me about being a professional tennis player. Then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like go all the way up here and copy this prompt, your original prompt, paste it here again, all right, and then changing scuba diving to maybe let's say tennis, about tennis. Now let me teach you something here, okay? Let me delete here. I'm going to create a new chat. Now watch this. Instead of typing list 10 books where I can learn about or learn more about that, right? I'll do something like this, whereby list, sorry, I want to use GPT 3.5. List 10 books, okay, where I can learn more about output to a table. Watch this. This is what we called, okay, as placeholder, okay, placeholder, or some people call it parameter, all right? So with this usage of placeholder and parameter, you can do something known as chain prompting, all right? Now, what I'm going to do here, let me show you. This topic, I just put it, and then which means I can now shift enter. Remember, you want to go, a second line is shift enter, and I put that topic, sorry, colon, okay, just now was scuba diving, right? Right now, I just say tennis. Topic colon tennis. So that means I set this parameter topic is now tennis. So when I run this, look at that. So again, without the price, it's okay. I don't worry too much about the price. I just show you that I can add on one more column in there just by saying add one more column. But you can see now it's tennis, right? So topic tennis. Now, if I now, again, I want to switch a topic to something else, I don't need to retype the whole thing. I just say topic colon, maybe let's say rock climbing. I don't need to type again that question. Enter. There you go. So that's called usage of parameter. So if you wanted always to switch different values, okay, but again, the entire prompt, you want the prompt structure, you want to maintain it, right? So you can use parameters like this. So can you see that it's quite useful so that your original prompt, okay, you don't need to repeat this whole thing again. All you need to do is supplying in the variable, the parameter with different values. So I started with tennis. Then if I want to change that, I just say topic colon rock climbing. And then if I want to change again, I just say topic now it's let's say gardening, you know, So I can use this, right, to do it. So that's actually what we call as parameter. Now, you can also, right, okay, do something known as chain prompting. Okay. Now, chain prompting, right, would be, let me try to expand right now. Okay. Now, this is actually rock climbing, right? Now, I will type out just to show you that it starts from 0 again. I delete this. Okay. I'm going to create a new chat right now. Now, watch this. I can set the topic to be right at the top, or it's after the prompt, even before or after. It doesn't matter, guys. Okay. So I've mentioned topic equals right now advanced or drifting or car drifting. Okay. I want to learn drifting. Shift enter. Again, list 10 books where I can learn more about, in square brackets, topic, okay, output to a table. Shift enter. All right, look at this. I'll put it here, output. Then I can continue multiple instructions in one go. List top, let's say top five aspects used to evaluate these type these types of books. Output to a table again. Then shift enter. After that, output here. Okay. And then shift enter again. In a table, evaluation, the above books, sorry, no. In the table, evaluate the above books against the aspects on a scale, let's say of 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. And then what I can do, right, okay, is that maybe what am I going to say? Add an add a best overall score column. Okay, overall score column. What else? And rank these books, okay, based on the best overall score. Now, what I'm trying to tell you here, right, is like this. Now, I'm doing something called chain prompting, okay? So chain prompting means I've got my placeholder here, the topic, right? The topic, which is matched here. I say output to table, and I expect the table to be output here first. And then I'm not going to continue with the second dialogue. And within the same conversation, I already expected what I wanted. I put in the second command here. So the first instruction, second instruction, and the third instruction. So I expected the output to a table, the output will be here. After that, I asked the second instructions to output to a different table, the output will be here. And after that, I'm going to do further. So it's called chain prompting. In one go, I can actually chain a couple of prompts all together, and I anticipated the output will be done here and done here. All right? So let's find out how this will fare. So when I'm going to run this, so that's the first 10 books on car drifting, right? Then the next, you see, top 5 aspects and the evaluation, see, all 3 tables. So because I put everything in one go. So the first instructions is about this books, 10 books. And then second instruction is top 5 aspects that we use to evaluate the books. So there, these are the 5 aspects. Number 1, content depth and coverage, practical tips and techniques, clarity of explanations, relevance, and up-to-date information. So based on these 5 aspects, then I want you to rank again all these 10 books according to these aspects. So they put here, content depth, what is the ranking number? What's the ranking level? Score of 1 to 5. So every book I can now have a ranking. Which books will be better for me in terms of clarity, skill levels, content depth, and what more? See? And then they'll tell you ranking of books based on best overall scores will be this. Okay, so this is called chain prompting. One prompt, the first in one particular prompt, you put in multiple prompts. Okay, and each of the prompt you're expecting the output, which you can mention output here and then output here. Okay, you get what I mean? Right. So this is something that you can do as well. Right. So let's say maybe, right, for example, again, based on car drifting, right? I can't think of anything else. I may try to do something like, in this case, again, based on the topic, right? I continue, since I'm in the same thing, right? I say design, okay? Design a comprehensive, maybe a 30-day plan to help me learn. You see, I'm trying to get ChatGPT to help me learn, help me learn the topic again from scratch, let's say. Okay. Maybe break down the plan into daily tasks. Okay. Uh, uh, quoting, quoting learning resources. Okay. Hands-on exercises. Okay. The rest day. Okay. To ensure I have a balanced and sustainable and progressive learning, let's say, learning journey. Okay. And I put that be specific. Okay. Be specific about the learning resource. Then output into a output in markdown format. Now I'm not going to be putting into table. I say markdown format. What is a markdown? Markdown is going to be like with proper titles, headings, and all that, right? So when I press enter, let's see what I can get here. Oh, but when I put markdown, sometimes you see 3.5 will get this. I just don't know how. I just don't know why. Because I hate this when it happens. Yes, are these real books? Sometimes ChatGPT hallucinate. That's why, like I said, I should have actually, right, talk about the books, right? I should have actually ask them to quote and cite sources from the web. But you know what? You can't, because I'm using 3.5. That is why there is some limitations, okay, when you use 3.5. You can't really assess, okay, that. And that is why if you want to do this, right, you can try it out in Google Bard if you want to, or if you have paid for ChatGPT Plus, right, make sure that you are connected to the browse with Bing, right? And you ask specifically, cite the sources and quote the website URL where these books can be found. I want to buy that. So we can see that there was source, right? They quote it here, driftzone.com or whatever, see? So sometimes they show you that there's a source of this, but you need to go and assess. So that is why, like I said, AI, you cannot just trust immediately what are the outputs given to you, right? You have to do further research. You can even question ChatGPT. Can you show me all the website URLs, okay, that you obtain where I can buy these books? Can I get it from Amazon.com or something like that? You can just test him. But because I'm using 3.5, I can't do that, you see? Right? So that is why maybe they found this, because as long as the books are not post 2022, maybe, like for example, this one, Drift Racing History 2022, I doubt that they have any knowledge about that. So those earlier books, okay, maybe you can ask ChatGPT to quote you the the URL where I can buy that, or any URL where I can read more descriptions and find out more about that particular book, right? So yeah, exactly. So it is actually true that your custom instructions might have a play in it. So sometimes if you want it to be really an unbiased, a true account or of the result, some people even suggested to me, hey, what if I remove and I clear my entire custom instructions? I don't mind Chat GPT, don't know who am I, all right? Doesn't know who am I. So you can try by clearing your entire custom instructions and then try it out again, right? And compare the results, right? But like I said, that for me, if I were to find out information about this, I wouldn't use 3.5 since I'm on Plus. I'll directly be connected to GPT-4, and maybe I'll use the browse with Bing. But since we browse with Bing, sometimes, right, a lot of times people will say that if I click on GPT-4, browse with Bing, I feel that there's some weakness with this guy also, since I wanted to access the internet, I might as well use Bing Chat, all right? Because that's how OpenAI tries to attract the customers or potential customers. That oh yeah, GPT-4 now can even access the internet. But if I choose this browse with Bing, I might as well directly go to Bing Chat, right? Because that's where by default I don't even need to ask Bing Chat to cite me the resources, because resources, the websites are automatically provided. Okay. Same reason why you want to get a fake URL when you request a URL for the article ChatGPT coded, which doesn't exist. Yes, exactly. So even they came back to you with a URL, but it's up to you to really test out the URL. Okay, so like I said, that this is actually some good news to us. Okay, that we humans still are in the job, are still in the business, because we are still needed. Okay, to evaluate, make decision of our own, right? So the fate of the result is actually based on our own decision making. So it's also up to us, right, to spend a little bit more time to go and verify the results, all right? Because we wouldn't want AI to one day completely replacing us, because AI is not there to replace us. So whatever that is given to you, you still need to do a little bit more deeper evaluation. But at least the initial heavy lifting has been done by the AI, right? But so what you're going to do, right, is to finish up the next 50% of the task. So the initial starting pain points, the 50% is done for you. Maybe some certain tasks, right, they can be, 0 to 100%. For example, the gentleman who says that, yeah, I actually asked ChatGPT to, to recommend me medication for a wound, which I taken a picture of my wound, right? So what kind of medication should I use and all that? So immediately they're going to give you a suggestion of all this medication. But at least, right, for me, I'm still not going to trust immediately. I'm just going to go online. I'm going to research about this medication. Is it really proper, So, but at least the initial pain points, it's already given to me, right? The initial heavy lifting, it's already done by the AI, right? So again, I wouldn't want to repeat myself again, because I feel that I'm like a broken record. So a lot of things that is written to you, you need to find ways to evaluate that. Okay. Now, if you really wanted to find out, okay, based on the URL, make sure that the URL is not really even a fake URL. So you need to use even, let's say, for example, Bing Chat, where most of the time Microsoft Bing has already filtered those URLs, which are going to be the official URLs that you can use, right? And not fake ones. But inside ChatGPT here, I cannot guarantee it. It's hard to tell, right? Because even quoting sources, they can hallucinate, all right? Okay, so just now the training plan, which didn't really come out based on plan. See, again, I need to refresh the page. Sometimes it's frozen. When I say markdown, I don't expect this one, because this markdown, it should be able to come up with a proper decoration and all that, because this markdown is not what I meant. This markdown is a coded markdown. It's not really the process markdown, right? Actually, I should have opted out for this, So, but then you can read that week 1, what is the introduction, day 1, day 2, day 3, the breakdown of a learning plan, right? Okay, so that's roughly some of the prompts, some of the ideas, okay, that you can have. Okay, so I think with just not much time left here, this is just like a sneak peek. I know that we have got quite a number of active attendees in my session contributing, that you guys are already experienced with ChatGPT. Well, that's very good, okay, because at least I know that the popularity of ChatGPT, the usage of it is out there, right? So now let me just talk about imagery, okay? For the last half an hour, I just want to cover. I'm not so sure how many of you guys here are creative prompters. Okay, well, I'm one of them. So recently, whereby I've got the DALI 3 integration that is actually quite cool here. So directly I can use DALI 3, because DALI 3, right, it's actually a serious improvement from DALI 2, right? The first thing that what DALI 3 promises is that they now can differentiate characters, all right? And they can even do text generation. Inside the image, the texts are a bit more accurate. They don't guarantee accuracy, but they can get the word spelled correctly. You see, what's the main problem in Midjourney, right? Okay, is that in Midjourney, when I generate an image, if let's say, for example, I want to generate a person wearing a T-shirt that says "I love Kuala Lumpur" or "I love New York," you are bound to get an image, right, with a person wearing a T-shirt whereby the spelling can go wrong, right? New York, maybe they spell new with a double W, Neww, and then York maybe your, or the K maybe R. So the spelling is not going to be straight. Sometimes the spelling doesn't come out, which is alphabet. It looks really alien language or Klingon, or it looks like a hieroglyph, So that's one of the major challenge of Midjourney. Now, Midjourney is also in the background improving because they also feel the heat when OpenAI came up with DALL-E 3. Now, I want to show you one example. Okay. Now, Midjourney has also one particular challenge. In order for you to subscribe to Midjourney, oh yeah, so Midjourney right now you cannot get a trial plan anymore. When I started with Midjourney, right? Okay, I started with free and it gave me a 14 days trial plan. I can generate images in 14 days free, right? Then only I need to pay the $10 a month. Now I'm on basic plan, which cost me $10 a month. So $20 here in ChatGPT Plus, Midjourney $10 a month for basic plan. So that's $30 investment already per month. Okay. But I'm not just here to tell you how much I spent. Let's talk about Midjourney. Now I have included my Discord here. This is my Discord server. All right. One thing bad about Midjourney is that I need to be connected to Discord. For those of you who are gamers from old days, right, you know what is Discord. Discord has now evolved more than being a gaming server where you do collaborative, where everybody joins a server and you chat here and whatnot. You share things here, right? So you can see that I've got many servers which I'm connected to. Is it because I'm in a big AI community here? I'm also the member of AICCC. AICCC, as you can see, this one AICC, which is called AI Creative Content Creators, right? That's a community there. But most importantly, I want to show you my Midjourney. This is the Midjourney server. That's where you actually subscribe to it. You can see these are the public community where people all output and generate all their images. And you can see these images are seriously very cool. Look at the prompts. They say generate an image showing a young girl in a hospital bed with doctors examining her for what they initially suspect to be a tumor with whatever, You see, it says here photorealism, cinematography, So in this case, they also mention with a lens of 12 to 40 mm. The aperture, the f number is 2.8 lens, the aspect ratio. So you see, it's very technical for people, right, who pick up Midjourney because it's another whole new level of prompting. You learn prompting in ChatGPT for your business and for whatnot, but in terms of creative content generation, you need to be at least have some knowledge about graphics, about photography, especially if you want to generate photographs. You're not generating pictorials, right? You're not generating cartoon images. You want to have photorealism. You need to understand the keywords. Sometimes you need to understand, okay, the photography terminology they use. For example, the lens, the f number, the white balance, the ISO, and whatnot. But to some creative content experts out there, they mentioned that actually all these information you inject into Midjourney, specifying the camera model, the lens millimeters, the f number, the white balance, these are all crap, I don't know. Okay, because actually I started my origin, okay, by profession, I'm not a graphic designer, I'm not a photographer. Okay. So, but I spent this last 10 months in indulging myself, joining the communities, talking to a lot of photographers, talking to a lot of fellow member AICCs, so the content creators. And I learned a lot about all these camera thingy, But to some smaller group of people, they say, no, no point. You don't need to mention the camera model, the lens and all that, because Midjourney, right, doesn't really relate to that. You need to quote based on the parameters you use. For example, there's a double dash AR here. AR stands for aspect ratio, the S number parameter. There are even more parameters. You have to go to the Midjourney documentation to understand the parameters. So how I generate this, but this is the public, everybody can see, So there's this guy recently generating a lot of images of young girls, and all that. I'm not quoting anything here, but I have added and created my own Gemrain consulting server. This is my Gemrain Discord, okay? And I have added Midjourney bot into it because I've subscribed to it. So recently, this is actually all the private photos I've generated. Okay, for example, as you can see here, I just show you a couple of this here. I say a photo of a group, even with a spelling mistake here, a photo of a group of people with a mix of males and females working in an office where everybody is busy with some task of their own. It must be photorealistic. I even mentioned 4K taken with Canon EOS 5D or whatever. See, I try my best. That's the only camera model that I've ever known. Then I put there real people with proper faces. Okay, so then I put in my aspect ratio 69. That means landscape version, and then the version of Midjourney is 5.1. The latest version is 5.2, right? But I'm using 5.1, so we can see that this is actually the images, the image grid they show, because all images they will generate 4 pieces. We call them an image grid, so there can be a few varieties here, right? So you can see that they will show me, since there are 4 photos, right? So the number will be, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So you've got the U1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a variation. V stands for variation, U stands for upscaling. So out of 4, right, let's say I want to use the second one. So you can click on U2. So in this case, which I've used the 4, see, I clicked on maybe the 4th one. I think I used the first one there. So it's highlighted U1. So I clicked U1 before and they blow it up, upscale it to here. Once I upscale to here, right, you can see today I can zoom out to 2 times, which today they have made it available. Custom zoom, you can even zoom it beyond 2 times, right? And there is also make variations. Variations as the V1, V2, V3, V4. That means you want to change something about it. Ask Midjourney to generate different backgrounds, maybe change the position, change the facing of the people inside and all that. So these are the things that you can do in Midjourney, right? But with DALL-E 3, who just made an appearance, now I would like to explore about DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3, you don't need to generate based on such principles of technicality. I just mentioned what I wanted. For example, I maybe you say generate, okay, an image, or maybe I put it specifically a photo image, okay, of a a young boy, okay, wearing a white T-shirt, okay, with the word "I love KL." Let's say. Let's try this. And you can see they will use DALL-E 3 to create images. You see, I don't need to mention the parameters and stuff like that. Now I'm trying to generate a photo image and try to see with the word on the T-shirt how accurate the spelling can be. All right. So take a while to generate these images. Now, in the meantime, because lack of time here, Discord server is something technical that you get, okay, to go into Midjourney. Now, recently, Midjourney stopped giving out free trials already. So when you when you sign up for Midjourney, you got to go for the minimum basic plan of $10 a month. No more trials. So they are slowly, stopping all this. Now, the next one, free one that you can try to use is called, okay, there you go. They are able to generate only 2, sometimes depending on how busy the server is. As you can see, here they generate images. So it's photo. So we can see that I love KL, right? And the next one also is another younger boy, cute one, I love KL. So you can see they even generate and show you what's the prompt they use behind the scene. My prompt has been interpreted as photo of a young Asian boy around the age 10, standing confidently and smiling at the camera, wearing blah, 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 blah. All right. When I go next one, is a photo of a cheerful young Asian boy, approximately 8 years old, all that. Now, please, what I'm about to explain to you here, right? It may sound a bit sensitive. Okay. Now, hear me out, because this has been a debate also among the AICC members. Because there are some people who quoted, okay, that any images of people, humans being generated in there. Now, I think the server is busy. That's why they generated only 2. They're supposed to generate 4. Okay. So just like in Midjourney, right? It's all started in Midjourney. They claim that some of the photos are a bit biased. That's the initial stage when Midjourney, okay, was first started with the version 2, version 3, version 4. Those were the days, okay, that they claim that Midjourney is biased. Anytime I just mention woman, man, boy, girl, I don't mention the race, but the outputs are always Caucasians. That was what they quoted. Okay, but as now it has been 10 months, how many, almost a year that we're stuck in the world of we began the explosion of generative AI. Everything has been enhanced slowly. Now Midjourney generated, okay, for a grid of 4 images. Each of the image, right, they will be well balanced. They will generate a person, which is a white. there'll be a Hispanic maybe, or maybe there'll be an Asian person in there, or maybe there'll be a black person in there. Okay, this is actually to address the biasness that a lot of people claimed it to be. Now, what about DALI 3 here? I just mentioned a photo image of a young boy. I never mentioned it's going to be an Asian. Now, how come DALI 3 can generate an Asian to me? Possibly you might be thinking, yeah, your custom instruction says that based in Malaysia, you're in Malaysia. And furthermore, you say I love KL. KL, they know KL is in Kuala Lumpur. It's also a capital city in Malaysia. So possibly they just generated some faces that looks like the people that we have here in Malaysia. That is the logic behind the scene, but which I may not be correct. I may not be, but based on what I've been talking to with the community, because I can't find this through reading documentations. They never specify this in documentations. I gotta go and talk to people. I gotta go and ask for opinions. I gotta go and ask around for the experts' belief and their whatever their expert opinion or their own personal opinion. So that's what I understand here, right? So if I were to now try this again, okay, what about what about image, okay, photo images of a young girl, or maybe I stick with boy, okay? I just want to make it consistent. Of a young boy wearing a t-shirt that says, I love New York. I love NY. I just say it like this, okay? Let's see what I'll get. This is actually to quash all these things, right? So, but I get perfectly spelled word, I love KL, whatever. But you might be thinking, come on, these words are very easy to spell, you know. And you see, I say I love, okay, but they use, because it's a t-shirt, they put a love picture, a heart, rather than the word LOVE. You can see that they're very smart because they know out in the world, right? Most of the t-shirts, when they say love, they use a heart and not the word LOVE and not even LUV, you see. So there you go. Look at that. So they will try to generate images of a boy. Now it's not an Asian, but because I say NY, New York, right? So they try to generate images of people that resembles the people from New York. These are like the Italians or I don't know. I cannot tell, right? Because in New York there's huge populations of Russians and Italians and whatever. Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say, right? If you provided details, something in your prompt, and even though you are trying to get them to generate a photo image of a person, so you can see here they generated Asian boy. This one they generated they never mentioned that. You see, even a young boy with a diverse descent. They know that New York has a diversity of people from all around the world. They got Irish people there, they've got Russians and Mexicans and Italians there. So they just say diverse descent. That is no wonder I cannot tell, the race of this. So next one also same thing. Young boy of diverse descent. You see? So that's how DALI 3 can be. And you can see DALI 3, right? I just write in plain English, plain words. All right. So this is something that I can do with DALI 3. And Midjourney, it's going to be a bit, they feel the heat from DALI 3 because people now no need to pay for Midjourney and they can directly create images in ChatGPT. But still, ChatGPT, you have to pay $20, right? So what about Bing Chat then? Can I do the same thing in Bing Chat? My Bing Chat, I'll just go directly /create, my image creator. I've still got 71 boost token, no problem. Look at my creation so far. Coca-Cola, right? Do you know I've been trying this? Can you see it on my sidebar here? I've got many prompt blocked. Can you see this big bunch of prompts which are blocked? Because I've been trying out, right, to mention, okay, brand names, Adidas, Reebok, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. Initially, they blocked me. I cannot use this because of copyright. But just last 2 days, I tried again, and to my surprise, I'm generating Coca-Cola already. I just mentioned Coca-Cola can with a special country design on Malaysia. And look at this. Perfect. But look at the spelling. There you go. This is what I mentioned about alien spelling. Besides, okay, the Coca-Cola logo, the rest of the words are all crap. If you want it to be there, right, you have to really seriously specify what you want it to be written, or else you can see the words are nothing. They don't mean anything. They're just a blurred stew of, I don't know, gibberish and all that, right? So, but I can now quote brands, and even I can even quote, for example, this one. I told you about Lamborghini. I purposely mentioned brand names, car names, and I purposely mention Wonder Woman, and I say Gal Gadot style, and you can see it's Gal Gadot now. Previously, I cannot even quote a person, a celebrity name. Now it does allow me, even though this one doesn't really look like Gal Gadot, but the other one, this one looks Gal Gadot. This is Gal Gadot. This is Gal Gadot, right? And of course, the other one, like, for example, this one, Thor in the Avengers movie style, wielding Mjolnir, which is electrified with his eyes also electrified. I never mention Chris Hemsworth. I never mention his name. I just say Thor in the Avengers movie style. So now they know this is Chris Hemsworth. And the armor, it's actually Avenger style. See? Look at that. It's Chris Hemsworth. One look at it. This is the Ragnarok movie style. You see? So apparently I was surprised. Just after a few days, they have got privacy policy and all that. Now they open it up. Even Batman. Portrait of a battle-weary Batman in piano black metallic armor riddled with battle scars. I've got this Batman. And you can see they used the latest one. I think this is actually the Ben Affleck version of Batman. But you can see the armor riddled with battle scar. So with DALL-E 3, you don't need Midjourney anymore. And I'll lastly finally share to you Leonardo AI. All right. If you go into app.leonardo AI, this is a free version. You can sign up for free. They give you 150 tokens. Hang on. It seems that they cannot recognize me anymore. I just need to go to Leonardo. I think I signed out maybe. Okay, so I will just wait. I launched the app. How come they don't recognize me anymore? I remember that I signed in. How come they thought that it's getting started? Ah, man. Let me launch an in private window. So www.leonardoai. This was the one that they can give you free. When you sign up, they give you 150 tokens, which is refreshed every day. So you have 150 tokens to generate your images. Okay, so let me launch this app. Okay, so I'm going to sign in with my Microsoft account. This is actually quite cool, even giving a very good, a big competition to Midjourney initially, but that was before DALL-E 3 came out. Let me just go to my authenticator. Hang on. All right. So it's 150 tokens. If you cannot finish using it for the day, it's okay. But then tomorrow they're going to refresh it up to again 150 tokens. So this is actually Leonardo AI. So if you go to AI image generation at the bottom here, so you can see I've got 150 tokens. That day I've used up maybe 10 or 20 tokens. I'm left with 130. Now they refresh again for me 150 tokens, right? So I'm still free, right? So you can see what I did, right, is this one, an oil painting of a vast desert landscape with a majestic camel caravan crossing the sand dunes, focusing on details of the camel, blah, blah, blah. I'm using some models here. And they used up only 2 tokens. Every image generation, I can choose, I want 4 or I want 2. I've lowered down my token usage to 2. You see, if I choose 4, my token will use up 8 of them. You see, they will tell you how much do I need to use to generate this. So this one uses 8 tokens, but if I lower down to 2 images only, I use 4. So you can see that these are the images I generated. But you can see sometimes, okay, they've got this problem. The camels are double-headed, 2-headed camels, right? And you can see this one is even worse. There's one image whereby, hang on, I think that's another one. I think this is one, yeah. Well, look at the peculiarity of the camel. The camel hump, there's no hump. And this guy riding on the camel looks like a monkey. There's no proper face. 2-headed, but the hump is at the bottom. You see, it looks like a pregnant camel. So you can see that Leonardo, right, AI struggles with deformity. Sometimes when you generate an image, right, they've got deformed kind of images. People with malformed fingers, limbs, extra limbs, the face is really, really weird and a very horrifying look, you know. So that is why you've got this problem, and you have to make use of some negative prompts. So for example, if I click prompt image generation, I type a prompt here and I say I want to turn on negative prompt. I add on negative prompts here, meaning to say I type a prompt that what I wanted to show, and then type here the prompt that what I do not want to see. So maybe like deformed fingers, extra limbs, you know, extra eyes or nose or mouth, you know. So you have to mention your negative prompts. Then only they can fine tune your image to be a bit proper, right? And by using image generator, can we upload our photo as reference to recreate another image? Okay, since you asked that question, now let me show you down here. Look at that. I've uploaded a photo of myself, right? You can see I can't show you my photo. So this is actually a photo of myself. Let me just kind of like whether I can show you my original photo. Hang on there. I've got a photo of myself. So this is the original photo of me. Okay, let me share to you. This is a photo of me. I post this in my studio. That's what I use to advertise myself. I uploaded this picture here. See at the bottom here, right? You can drag and drop, upload a picture here, and then you type in a prompt. You also type in a prompt. The prompt is this is the fixed seeding, right? You can choose image to image, okay, and then you can type in a prompt, and then the prompt. You can see I type in a prompt, an anime illustration of Sailor Moon representation. So originally they put it like this. You see? They use my image, different style. I say Sailor Moon is going to be an anime. So you can see it looks really, really weird. Okay. Sailor Moon replacing my face and all that, but with the same style. But then this was done, okay, whereby I choose my prompt to be heavier than my image. There is something called prompt strength. I can say my prompt, the strength is higher, so you follow the prompt more than you follow the image. But if I adjust, my image will be stronger than my prompt, then they will turn out, ooh, very ugly. So they'll maintain my posture and all that, but now they try to cross hybrid Sailor Moon with me. Every time I show this, right, I still laugh at myself, right? So this is actually what you can do. You can upload your image and you can write in the prompt how you want it to be using your style and all that. It can be done. All right. But something that I want to show you, this is actually what DALL-E 3 comes in as well. Look at this. Initially, I put specifically a king cobra smoking a Cuban cigar while a mongoose in the background staring cautiously at it. This is the weakness of Leonardo AI and even Midjourney sometimes. I set king cobra and a mongoose in the background, but look at what I get. They hybrid it. They merge the mongoose into the king cobra. See that? This is seriously not what I wanted, okay? But look at what I get in DALL-E 3. Let me show you my DALL-E 3. In my DALL-E 3 here. The same thing that I did in DALL-E 3. Look at this. A king cobra smoking a Cuban cigar while a mongoose in the background staring cautiously at it. I get perfectly well. They never merge them together. One character is a king cobra, who's the one smoking the cigar, and a mongoose at the back. Same thing. Look at that. Cartoon, illustration, photo. They will tell me one is a photographic depiction, one is an illustrated scene, one is a hand-drawn portrayal, one is a vector style representation. Look at that. And again, I want it to be a realistic photograph. There we go. Now this one, realistic. Well, sometimes you can see this cigar doesn't seem to be in the mouth. This cigar looks a bit weird, but all four photorealistic photograph, they never merge them. Compared to my Leonardo AI, this is crap, man. So one very good power of DALL-E 3, right, is that they're able to solve spelling, number one. Number two, they're able to now have different characters in the picture. Not like Midjourney or Leonardo AI, where they still struggle on having one subject king cobra, another subject mongoose. They then merge them together. So this is also because I never key in the negative prompt. I never mention to them I don't want them to be together. I want the king cobra to be separate and the mongoose to be separate. I need to specifically feed that in. But in DALL-E 3, I don't need to worry about that. I just mentioned a short prompt like this, and I get everything perfect out, right? So this is something that I can see DALL-E 3 should be one of the best image generator for users, right? Without any technical knowledge, without any hassle, right? So you can actually use this, okay, to generate some simple prompts. And like I said, that even I can do Lamborghini, see, the same all-terrain vehicle. And finally, before I end, I would like to show you how to get consistent images. Because when I say, what I mentioned just now, right? This boy I love, see, these two boys are not the same boy, correct? These two boys are not the same boy. But how can I generate this? Check this out. The same girl, same faces. I do not want it to be varying. I tried it on a Chinese girl, same girl. You see that? Okay. And you can see it's something to do with my prompt. Create 4 photographic images side by side of the same person, Emily. Each image is showing different expressions of Emily. And I say about Emily, she is 10 years old, French girl with cute diamond-shaped face and blue eyes, short dark brown hair, blue t-shirt. The images have isolated white background. Create these expressions individually in each image. Laughing, number 1, sad, number 2, determine, surprise. I just mentioned that do not write any text or tags, just create 4 photographic images side by side of the same girl, Emily. You need to give perspective. Then you get the same consistent person. If you just say boy and you never give, again, it's prompting, you see the importance of prompt engineering. Because if you do not know how to prompt, you just say, boy, you get different boys, right? But now I can get a consistent one. Even this one, I get the same thing, but now it's the images of a Chinese girl. Info of the girl, I say Ling, 20 years old, a pretty face with soft brown eyes and a really dark ponytail hair. Pure Chinese facial features, wearing a yellow thin strap blouse. Here are her 4 expressions are, see? So it's the same girl, right? And to the question, what are your thoughts on Stable Diffusion? Well, Stable Diffusion XL, let's say, yeah. Now, Stable Diffusion is also one of the forefathers, so-called the forerunners and the ancestor of creative image generation, all right? Along with Midjourney, all that, right? Stable Diffusion, yes, they are very, very good, I can tell you. And a lot of creative prompters out there, creative content creators, they use Stable Diffusion together with Comfy UI. Guys, check out Comfy UI, all right? Because with Stable Diffusion plus with Comfy UI, you can generate that format of that image, and then you can then use the image and animate them using Runway ML. Now, I'm still in the midst of creating my course about video generation. I've been talking about avatar, moving mouths, deep fakes, lip sync, So there is this particular tool called Runway ML, which is used to animate images. You can generate a series of images. Like, for example, if I want to make a movie, I would want my girl, the actress in the movie, right, to be the same person, right? So this is how my first step to create consistent pictures, different expressions of the same girl, which later on I can take out the pictures, upload to Runway ML, and I can generate a short 5 seconds or 10 seconds movie animated based on the same girl. You wouldn't want the girl to look differently, right, in the movie. So then you can get something like Gaussian splatting and things like that. Okay, so yes, Stable Diffusion is actually one of the technology, Stable Diffusion XL with Comfy UI. And can DALL-E 3 work on existing upload images like the one used? No, not yet. DALL-E 3 works on prompts only. You can't upload an image there yet. Okay, so but I heard that they are working on that. Okay, but God knows when they're going to come up with that. No news, nothing yet. OpenAI only releases news when they release it, when they have the technology. When they're not, they don't announce anything. Okay, and how about Adobe Firefly? Do you have any experience using Firefly? Well, let me show you firefly.adobe.com. Yeah. So Firefly, right? It's actually currently free. It's part of the Adobe suite, and the most impressive thing about it is this generative fill. Okay, and text to image, same thing. You can click generate here, all right? And you can type in, let's say, for example, the text to image. Wait, to use Firefly, you must agree. Yeah, agree. Sorry. Okay, so there you go. So you can click on text to image. So you can type in the image, and yeah, they can also generate some text here. And what's more, because it's by Adobe, whatever images that you generated and it looks quirky and peculiar to you, you can immediately use the Adobe suite of applications to edit it. So one thing that I would like to show you, right? Finally, I know that we have ran out of time already, so I'm so sorry about that, right? It's the generative fill. Let me just go back to, sorry, too much back. Generative fill. So I will upload an image. So let me try to upload an image of myself again. Where is myself? Okay, I'll just drag myself into here. Okay, this is me. Now what I can do, right, is I set the background, okay, which, hang on. Okay, so I cleared my background. So now I can describe what I want to fill my background. A busy street in downtown Manhattan. Okay, just click generate. So they will generate 3 or 4 pieces of this, and you can choose which one you like, right? And then you can actually scale it down. The me there, I can scale it down. There you go. So you can see, right? So downtown Manhattan is filled at the back of me, or you might have this, or you might have this. So like I said, I'm not an expert in Adobe yet, okay, but like I said, this one looks like a bit bokeh at the back, okay, there's a bokeh effect at the background, and maybe it would be better if I can actually scale myself down a bit, So yes, that's Adobe Firefly, which I have time to actually show you. I'm supposed to even talk more about Adobe Firefly, which you can do, like even lasso sampling. They've got many things that you can do here. As you can see, right, you can view a sample of how they cleared the background. You can even change the jacket of the girl. You can do a lasso clearance of the jacket, and then you change the jacket to maybe a jumpsuit or whatsoever. Okay, so that's also the power of Adobe Firefly. But so far, it's still free, no problem. And yeah, it's still experimental. I think they're going to start charging you soon. This is going to be really, really crazy if you have an Adobe Photoshop subscription, because Firefly, the generative fill, is available inside Photoshop. And that one, you can even make minor tweaks right after the generative filling and extension. Okay. Yes, if we talk about imagery today, people are worried about scams, about even, I think the recent news that I've heard of yesterday, they said that the Internet Watchdog community is now on high alert about there will be a sudden flooding of all the fake AI generated child abuse photos or images out there, So I think that they happen already in parts of Europe. So the Internet Watchdog Foundation or whatever, they are on high alert. So that I think there will be stricter regulations on this already, right? So this is where, that is why in ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Microsoft, they put stringent privacy policy to prevent us from generating pictures on well-known people, generating, the celebrities, people like Elon Musk, even Michael Jackson. I cannot even type Michael Jackson, even though he passed away. I tried Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, they can try to come up with a depiction of Marilyn Monroe, but these are people who have indeed passed away. So there are no harm to cause any damage to this. But these are celebrities like, for example, MJ, Michael Jackson. He still has royalty and some copywriting on his album. He is still the king of pop as we know it. So Bing Chat or Bing Image Generator creator and DALL-E 3 still has a policy to prevent the real Michael Jackson from being generated. Okay, so that is why there are still policies in place to help us regulate this. All right. Okay, so I'm afraid I wish to talk to you guys even more. Okay, but like I said, that's all the sneak peek, and I've tried, okay, to showcase to you all the platforms that I am experienced with throughout these 3 hours.